Chapter 1017. Wang Daoyuan had deduced a few spells to level 6 in the space of the spiritual pearl. However, it was not suitable to practice on the Fire Lotus Island. There would be more and more cultivators coming to buy the 10,000-mile instant talisman. It was not suitable for him to cultivate with Xueqi anymore. It was better to take the time to improve his alchemy, artifact, and talisman array skills. Wang Daoyuan also had the refining method for the 10,000-mile instant talisman. However, the requirements for the materials were extremely high. The raw material of the talisman paper had to be the fur of a level 6 demonic beast, and the talisman ink had to be the blood essence of the same level 6 demonic beast. In other words, to refine the 10,000-mile instant talisman, he had to kill a level 6 demonic beast. At the soul formation realm, there were many life-saving methods. If the difference in cultivation was not big, it was not difficult to defeat the opponent, but it was very difficult to kill the opponent. This 10,000-mile instant talisman could be said to be the best treasure for escaping below the Mahayana realm. Even if he was besieged by many soul formation cultivators, he had a great chance of escaping. Mahayana realm cultivators could tear space. In front of them, the 10,000-mile instant talisman was like child's play. However, in the Sea of Seven Stars, where there were no Mahayana realm cultivators, it could be said to be a true divine artifact. If he wanted to refine a level 6 talisman, the materials were very difficult. Artifact talismans were much better. Although it took a bit of effort, they could be used repeatedly and save a lot of materials. However, before refining, he had to learn how to refine a level 6 magic artifact. The level 6 materials were still not enough. The brilliant sun gold and the Xueqi dragon's corpse could not be moved easily. The blood fire hibiscus and the yellow spring willow had just broken through to level 6. The trunk had become a level 6 material, but the branches were not. He could not cut down the entire tree just to practice. It was better to refine a level 5 high-grade magic artifact first. It would not be too late to make a move when he was more confident. He prepared to refine a level 5 high-grade pill furnace and began to forge the embryo. The embryo of such a large magic artifact was not easy to refine. It took him a whole month to forge it into shape. He could not inscribe the pattern yet. He had to first nurture the embryo and increase its potential. Wang Daoyuan placed the embryonic form of the alchemy furnace into the Xian cauldron. It was time to receive the cultivators who came to do business. 2 days ago, some cultivators came to visit, but Xueqi rejected them all on the grounds that Wang Daoyuan was busy refining tools. If they didn't open their doors for business, these guys might play dirty. Wang Daoyuan opened the door to the courtyard. There was a sign hanging in front of the door that said, "Refining in progress, please do not disturb." He took off the sign and turned off the defensive formation of the courtyard. In less than 5 minutes, a late Yuanian cultivator arrived. This person was not young. Although he looked like a middle-aged man, the decaying aura on his body could not be concealed. Wang Daoyuan welcomed him into the courtyard and activated the soundproof formation. He asked, "Dao Yu, what business do you have with my humble abode?" The middle-aged cultivator cupped his hands. "Wu Dao Yu, I am Lin Shao, an elder of the Imperial Regency. I am in charge of the Imperial Regency's business in the Myriad Demon Islands. Dao Yu also knows about the Imperial Regency's battle with the Seven Stars Alliance. Now is the time to recruit people. I heard that Dao Yu managed to escape unscathed from the level 6 Xueqi dragon a few days ago. I want to recruit Dao Yu. As long as Dao Yu is willing, you can immediately become an elder of the Imperial Regency. The inheritance level of my Imperial Regency is second to none in the Sea of Seven Stars. As long as Wu Dao Yu is willing to join my Imperial Regency, you can choose any of the inheritances in the sect. If you can make contributions to the sect, you might be able to obtain a spiritual item that can assist you in breaking through to the soul formation stage." These big factions were all the same. They were very good at making empty promises. They said that he could choose any of the inheritances in the sect, but to put it bluntly, it was just the inheritances on the surface. The true core inheritances were in the hands of the sect master and the grand elders. If they did not give it to him, he could not snatch it from them. As for the spiritual item that could assist him in breaking through to the soul formation stage, he might not even have a chance. Besides, do you think I'm still lacking something? In terms of inheritances, the 5 top factions in Beiyuan Xueqi, plus the Blood Shadow Empire and the Zhou Empire, were all stronger than the Sea of Seven Stars. If he could really gather all the inheritances of the Shenlian school, He might be able to compete with the Valley of Beasts. However, the core inheritances of the Shenlian school were in the Ziwei Hall. They did not obtain much at all. Wang Daoyuan did not want to risk his life with the blood shark right now, so he still had to maintain the etiquette on the surface. My husband and I are used to traveling around and do not like to be controlled. As for inheritances and the like, we have obtained some over the years. Although they are not very advanced, they are enough. As for the spiritual items that can assist in breaking through to the soul formation stage, they are extremely rare in any faction. I am an outsider, so I do not expect these. At most, I will go to the Sunset Abyss. With my ability, it will not be a problem for me to find the spiritual items. Lin Xiao sighed. Dao Yu is a genius, but he is unwilling to join the Imperial Regency. This is also the Imperial Regency's misfortune. I heard that when Dao Yu escaped from the Kuei Dragon, he used the talisman of 10,000 miles in a flash. The Imperial Regency is very interested in this item. Is Dao Yu willing to part with it? The Imperial Regency is willing to buy it at a high price. I may have to disappoint Dao Yu. I found an ancient cultivator's cave in the southern part of the Demon Islands. However, it has been a long time, and most of the treasures in the cave have been destroyed. The 2 talismans of 10,000 miles in a flash were kept because they were well kept. Even in the legendary ancient times, this kind of thing was not something to be trifled with. How could an ancient rogue cultivator have so many of them? The only 2 talismans have been used. Even if Dao Yu offers a sky-high price, there is nothing I can do. Wu Dao Yu is too serious. This item is rare. It is normal that Dao Yu does not have it. The Imperial Regency will naturally not force you. However, there is one more thing I need to ask. Now that the Imperial Regency is at war with the Seven Stars Alliance, we are lacking in all kinds of resources. Dao Yu is proficient in alchemy and artifact forging. How is his level? Hearing this, the Imperial Regency did not have enough pills and artifacts. Thinking about it, when 2 major factions were at war, golden core cultivators could only be considered as cannon fodder. The pills and artifacts needed were at least of the 4th rank. However, the refinement of 4th rank pills and artifacts required a large amount of time. It was difficult to refine them in large quantities in a short period of time. The Imperial Regency, which was the current blood shark, was far inferior to the Seven Stars Alliance in terms of resources and strength. Now that more than 20 years had passed, their resources were probably a little tight. I am not talented, but my alchemy and artifact forging skills are both at the upper 5th rank. Lin Zhao's eyes lit up. The Imperial Regency would like to ask Dao Yu to help with alchemy and artifact forging. What do you think of Dao Yu? With the Imperial Regency providing the materials for artifact forging, he did not need to work hard to find them. Helping the Imperial Regency forge artifacts was also a good choice. I am in this business. Naturally, there is no problem. However, how do you calculate the price? We will provide 2 sets of materials. Dao Yu will give me 1 artifact and 10% of the artifact's market price as a reward. As for the pills, 3 sets of herbs, 10 pills, and 10% of the market price as a reward. As for the artifacts and pills that are not agreed upon, we will buy them at market price. Wang Daoyuan nodded. This is a very fair price. No problem. Lin Xiao took out 2 cosmos rings. The requirements and materials are inside. I will come back to collect them in a year. Dao Yu, what do you think? Wang Daoyuan took the cosmos rings. One of the cosmos rings contained refining materials and a jade slip. The other cosmos ring contained spiritual herbs and a jade slip. He took out the jade slip and checked it. The requirements were simple. 3 5th grade superior grade longswords and 29 resurrection elixirs. Obviously, this was a test of his ability. It's a small matter. Half a year will do. Lin Zhao's eyes lit up. It took at least a year to nurture a 5th rank artifact. The same was true for the 9 resurrection pills. However, there were some special secret techniques to nurture artifacts and pills that could shorten the nurturing time. Time was also a cost. If he could shorten the nurturing time, he would also reduce the cost. Since Dao Yu is so confident, I will visit again in half a year. After Lin Xiao left, a few more cultivators came to ask about the 10,000-mile instant talisman. They were all dismissed by Wang Daoyuan with the same excuse. The couple were both late-stage Yuaniing cultivators. Wang Daoyuan could easily kill a 5th-rank upper Kuei dragon and escape from a 6th-rank Kuei dragon. Ordinary cultivators could only look up to him and would not dare to fight him head-on. The artifacts and pills that needed to be refined were very simple. Wang Daoyuan still had many 9 resurrection pills. He could not use them all, so there was no need to refine more. He could personally refine high-grade Tier 5 magic artifacts, and it could also improve his own refining skills. This upper 5th-rank longsword was called the Ink Dragon Water-Splitting Sword. It was a relatively ordinary longsword with some water-repelling abilities. When using the Ink Dragon Water-Splitting Sword to cast water-type spells, its power would be increased. He gave 6 sets of materials and only needed to refine 3 Ink Dragon Water-Splitting Swords. The main material was a water-type material called the Ink Dragon Crystal. There were also a few non-elemental metal materials as supplementary materials. Long swords without many special abilities were the easiest to refine. In just half a month, he had finished refining the 3 artifacts. Now, all that was left was to nurture them. He put the 3 artifacts into the Xian cauldron and stored them in the spirit pearl. Wang Daoyuan also took out the cauldron embryo that he had previously refined and started to inscribe the inscriptions. The cauldron was round and had 3 legs and 2 handles. It even had a lid and carvings of the 5 elements divine beast. The refining method was found in the Valley of Beasts. It was called the 5 Elements Furnace. It had the 5 elements spirit power and could fully utilize the power of the 5 elements spirit fire. It was very suitable for Wang Daoyuan. It took him more than 3 months to complete the refining of the 5 elements furnace. He also threw it into the Xian cauldron to nurture it. The interior of the Xian cauldron was quite spacious anyway. As long as there was enough spirit power, nurturing dozens of artifacts at the same time was not a problem. In the following time, Wang Daoyuan did not refine any new artifacts. Instead, he summarized his experience and comprehended some methods of refining 6th-rank artifacts. Half a year passed quickly, and Lin Xiao came to visit again. Wang Daoyuan took out 3 Ink Dragon Water-Splitting Swords and 29 Death Soul Return Pills. Lin Daoyu, these are the Ink Dragon Water-Splitting Swords and the 9 Death Soul Return Pills. Let me say this first. I refined these 9 Death Soul Return Pills before. I still have many of these pills that are commonly seen in Yuanian cultivators. There is no need to refine them. Lin Xiao took the swords and pills and carefully examined them for a long time. I am not talented, but I have some experience in refining artifacts and pills. Fellow Taoist Wu's methods are far beyond my reach. It's just that the refining methods of these artifacts and pills are brilliant and strange. I can't tell which sect they belong to. Lin Daoyu, you must be joking. I was born as a loose cultivator. My artifact and pill refining methods are still rooted in the things of loose cultivators. When I was traveling, I also obtained some incomplete inheritances. There were even some inheritances of fiendish cultivators. I comprehended and integrated them myself to reach my current level. How can I be qualified to be called a sect? Chapter 10:18. In the beginning, Wang Daoyuan had self-taught himself and received some guidance from perfected Lei Yan. Later, he became perfected Lei Yan's disciple and learned most of the Treasure Cauldron lineage's refining techniques. He also received the refining legacies of Shenlian's school and the Valley of Beasts, and Xian's guidance. Although he didn't fully comprehend everything, he still learned a lot. The things he learned were not limited by the views of sects, and he would use whatever was useful. Although he didn't completely master the refining techniques of these sects, he could still be considered to have learned from them. Therefore, in the eyes of others, his refining techniques were both brilliant and strange. Lin Xiao nodded his head. Fellow Taoist Wu's talent is truly extraordinary. Learning many incomplete artifact refining methods, you can actually form your own sect. If he had a brilliant refining legacy and the guidance of a great teacher, his achievements would be unimaginable. Lin Daoyu is too kind. Is Daoyu satisfied with my magical artifacts and pills? Satisfied, of course. I'm not exposing my family's dirty linen, but even among the level 5 upper-grade refining masters in the Imperial Regency, there are very few who can compare to Daoyu. Saying so, he took out a storage bag. The market price of the Ink Dragon Water Parting Sword is 40,000 upper-grade spirit stones, and the 9 Death Soul Returning Pill is 500 upper-grade spirit stones. This is the payment for Wu Daoyu, a total of 13,000 upper-grade spirit stones. Wang Daoyuan took the universe ring and asked, What other magical artifacts does Lin Daoyu need me to refine? You can bring more over at once. My refining cauldron can nurture more than 10 magical artifacts at the same time. It's too wasteful to only refine 3 ink dragon water parting swords at once. Lin Xiao was surprised. Looks like Wu Daoyou's refining cauldron is pretty good. There's not much demand for magical artifacts like the ink dragon water parting swords. Right now, the greatest demand is the dragon hunting crossbow. Whether it's the crossbow or the arrows, they're all in short supply. This time, I've brought 100 sets of materials for Daoyu. The price of one set of crossbow bolts is 1,000 upper-grade spirit stones, and I'll pay you about 10% of the market price. Wang Daoyuan had naturally heard of the dragon hunting crossbow. It was a magic tool that came with the flying warships of the Sea of Seven Stars. It ranged from the 4th grade to the 6th grade. This item was extremely powerful, far surpassing the full-powered attack of a cultivator of the same level. Those items were not too much of a threat to cultivators. Their main purpose was to deal with the other party's flying warships. It was very difficult for a cultivator to defeat a flying warship of the same level. Even if they did, the flying warship skin was thick and tough, making it difficult to completely destroy it. Dragon hunting crossbows posed a great threat to flying warships. After all, it was impossible for such a large warship to use evasive techniques. It could only rely on its own speed to evade. No matter how fast the flying warship was, it couldn't be faster than the crossbow bolts. It could only rely on the formation to block the bolts, and the dragon hunting crossbow's ferocious power could be unleashed. The most important thing about the dragon hunting crossbow was the bow, and the crafting method was kept a secret. However, the Divine Weapon Pavilion, the Valley of Beasts, and the Xinlian School all had the crafting method of this type of crossbow. For ordinary cultivators, this was something that was hard to come by. But for Wang Daoyuan, it was nothing special. Lin Xiao took out another universe ring and handed it to Wang Daoyuan. These are the materials and crafting method for the crossbow bolts. Daoyu, how long do you think it will take to complete the crafting? Wang Daoyuan took out the jade slip inside. The crafting method for the crossbow bolts was very simple. After all, it was a one-time use magic tool. It was much worse than a long sword of the same level in all aspects. With Wang Daoyuan's crafting skills, it would not be a problem for him to craft 3 or 4 of them in a day. He only needed to return 50 crossbow bolts for 100 sets of materials. It would take him more than 10 days to complete the crafting. Moreover, the crafting time for the crossbow bolts was relatively short. That's it? Half a year should be enough. If it wasn't for the fact that it takes up too much space, 2 months would be enough. Lin Daoyu, don't send me these materials next time. I don't expect to earn much more from working with the Imperial Regency than doing business with itinerant cultivators, but at least don't let me suffer a loss. I can only earn 5,000 superior-grade spirit stones in half a year. It's better to go out to sea and hunt demons. Lin Xiao could only smile apologetically. After all, it was not Wang Daoyuan's turn to craft the really good stuff. The only things he could refine were these worthless things. After sending Lin Xiao away, Wang Daoyuan carefully observed the materials. Although the Imperial Regency was not very good, the materials were still good. There were only 2 kinds of materials for crafting the crossbow bolts. The arrowhead was made of 5th grade mid-grade rock-breaking iron, and the shaft was made of 5th grade mid-grade blood-patterned golden bamboo. Rock-breaking iron was a relatively common metal material in the Sea of Seven Stars. It was very hard but not very flexible. As the saying went, if it was too hard, it would break easily. Thus, rock-breaking iron was rarely used to craft long sword-type magic weapons. Instead, it was commonly used in shields, axes, and other heavy magic weapons. Blood-patterned golden bamboo was a 5th grade superior grade spiritual plant. The bamboo shaft was completely golden and had blood-red patterns on it. It was said that the bamboo leaves were blood-red. Metal-type spiritual plants naturally had a sharp aura and were often used to craft offensive magic weapons. Although it was of a very high grade, it inherited the trait of bamboo-type spiritual plants to reproduce quickly. After the bamboo roots were buried, many bamboo shoots would grow every year. Although a bamboo shoot needed 3,000 years to break through to 5th grade, as long as the place was big enough, there would be no shortage of bamboo after planting one. However, after the blood-patterned golden bamboo was broken, the bamboo strips were a bit brittle and not suitable for crafting flying swords. Only when the blood-patterned golden bamboo reached 10,000 years old and had a qualitative change in its material would it be suitable for crafting flying swords. Thus, this thing was often used to craft magic weapons like arrow shafts. The Imperial Regency was really cunning. Most of the arrow shafts that they sent over had been left for a long time and were already lifeless. Wang Daoyuan carefully examined the 100 blood-patterned golden bamboo, and found a bamboo shaft that had not completely lost its vitality. Generally speaking, bamboo could not survive without a root. However, some spiritual plant farmers had secret techniques that could allow rootless bamboo shafts to take root and survive. Wang Daoyuan naturally had such secret techniques. Together with the power of the fire of life, he might be able to revive this bamboo shaft. He stored this bamboo shaft in the space of the spirit pearl and planted it beside the fire of life. He had his clone use the secret technique to try and see if it could survive. If it was not for practice, Wang Daoyuan would not have personally crafted such a simple magic weapon. After half a month, he had successfully crafted 50 crossbow bolts. Although it was a bit difficult for the Xian cauldron to nurture 50 crossbow bolts at once, it was not impossible. After half a month, the blood-patterned golden bamboo that still had some vitality had also changed. The clone kept using the secret technique. With the nourishment of the vitality, this blood-patterned golden bamboo had already grown a few roots and a few blood-red bamboo leaves. The blood-patterned golden bamboo had taken root in the space of the spirit pearl and would multiply in the future. Yuan-Yi, who had been sleeping for a long time, finally showed signs of waking up. Yuan-Yi Tiger was only a rank 2 demon beast. Even in the Valley of Beasts, it could only nurture a rank 3 superior grade demon beast. Now, every time he broke through, he would create a historical record for the Yuan-Yi tiger species. The breakthrough this time was a bit big. Yuan-Yi had indeed slept for a long time. At this time, Yuan-Yi's spirit power was fluctuating more and more violently. She was already on the verge of breaking through. Wang Daoyuan took her out of the space of the spirit pearl. Zhou asked, "What? Yuan-Yi is about to break through?" "Yes, this guy has the bloodline of the soul-devouring dark tiger. Once it transcends the tribulation, it will definitely cause a big commotion. It's definitely not reliable to transcend the tribulation on the Fire Lotus Island. It's better to find an uninhabited island for it to transcend the tribulation." The two of them took the flying boat and headed southwest. In the entire Qixing Sea Xiaoxian community, there were still many islands with spirit veins but no cultivators settled down. After all, the sea was not like the land. The island needed to be of a large enough size to resist the invasion of demon beasts. In only half a day, the two of them found a small island with a radius of 5 to 6 miles. There was also a rank 5 inferior grade spirit vein on the island. Wang Daoyuan placed Yuan-Yi on the island and drew out some water and metal attribute spirit power and injected it into Yuan-Yi's body. The spirit power of a soul formation cultivator was of great help to Yuan-Yi. Yuan-Yi soon woke up. This fellow was a little sleepy. "Master, where are we?" "Don't worry about where we are. You are about to break through. Quickly break through and then face the heavenly tribulation." Hearing that she was about to transcend the heavenly tribulation, Yuan-Yi immediately became energetic. In addition to being lazy, she was also greedy for life and afraid of death. When she broke through to rank 4 last time, she was seriously injured. She also knew that her life might be in danger during the tribulation, so she had to be careful. Wang Daoyuan continued to inject spirit power into her body, and Yuan-Yi also refined it. In less than 100 breaths, a powerful aura erupted from Yuan-Yi's body. Her cultivation had successfully broken through to rank 5. At this time, tribulation clouds began to appear in the sky. Wang Daoyuan immediately left the island so as not to interfere with the heavenly tribulation. The surrounding spirit power also began to gather directly above the island, gradually expanding the tribulation clouds. In the end, the tribulation clouds expanded to a diameter of about 200 miles. It seemed that Yuan-Yi's potential was still much worse than the red-feathered crows. When the red-feathered crow transcended the tribulation clouds reached a diameter of 300 miles. When a semi-divine beast broke through to rank 5, the tribulation clouds were about the same level. Yuan-Yi's bloodline was still a little worse than a semi-divine beast's. Hopefully, after transcending the tribulation, her potential would increase. The heavenly tribulation soon arrived. It had to be said that Yuan-Yi was a dumb cat with dumb luck. Relying on her own divine beast bloodline and the many precious spirit medicines in the space of the spirit pearl, her strength was not weak. A blue and white lightning ball fell, but it was actually shattered by his claw. She was unharmed and could even absorb a lot of tribulation power to temper her body and inner core. When a demon beast broke through to rank 5, it was the same as the human nascent soul formation heavenly tribulation. There were 5 heavenly tribulations of similar power. If she could withstand the first one, the rest was nothing to be afraid of. 2 hours later, Xueqi withstood the 5 heavenly tribulations unscathed. Her physical body and aura were greatly strengthened. A quarter of an hour later, a tiger roar came from the tribulation clouds. Then, a white tiger more than 10 feet long descended from the sky. This tiger's appearance was not much different from Xueqi's, but its aura was much stronger. This heavenly tribulation white tiger opened its mouth and let out another tiger roar. This tiger roar had the power to shock the soul. Not only that, but a gust of wind also flew out from the white tiger's mouth. Xueqi was a little stunned by the tiger roar and couldn't dodge the gust of wind. Many blood Taoists instantly appeared on her body. This gust of wind actually had extremely strong lethality. The gust of wind didn't dissipate directly. Instead, it turned into a tornado and trapped Xueqi. It seemed that Xueqi was finally about to awaken a new divine ability. The Imperial Wind divine ability was still relatively strong. It could be used to attack and defend, fight and escape. The divine ability was strong enough, but the stronger the divine ability, the more difficult it was to transcend the tribulation. Xueqi's entire tiger was wrapped in the tornado, and shocking wounds kept appearing on her body. If this continued, she had no hope of successfully transcending the tribulation. Chapter 1019. Xueqi was a fat cat who had never suffered much. How could she bear this? He roared again and again, trying to disperse the tornado. However, his strength was clearly not enough. The tornado only trembled slightly before it continued to wrap around him. As a soul formation cultivator, Wang Daoyuan was extremely sensitive to the power of laws. This wind was not made up of wind attribute spiritual energy, but metal attribute spiritual energy. Through the rapid flow of spiritual energy, wind was generated, and then it continuously absorbed wood and water attribute spiritual energy from the outside world, thus forming a method similar to a wind attribute spell. As the saying goes, the clouds follow the dragon, and the wind follows the tiger. Even if the white tiger bloodline was not of the wind attribute, it could still control the wind. Bloodline talents were innate. The method seemed simple, but it was difficult to learn. The wind that the tribulation white tiger spat out was mainly of the metal element, so it was needless to say how lethal it was. Xueqi had been unscathed when she faced the heavenly tribulation head-on previously. Now, as long as she came into contact with a gust of wind, a wound nearly a foot long would appear on her body. Xueqi's intelligence was definitely not low now, and she knew that this could not go on. He shrunk his body to about a foot long, and a gust of wind appeared around him. This wind was similar to the wind spat out by the white tiger of calamity. It was mainly made up of metal element spiritual energy, mixed with some wind element spiritual energy. Since his body had shrunk, his range of contact with the outside world had decreased, and the amount of spiritual energy needed to protect himself had also decreased. The fierce wind controlled by the white tiger of heavenly tribulation was unable to break through his defense. Demonic beast's bloodline heavenly tribulation was the same as human's divine ability heavenly tribulation. After all, the heavenly tribulation was meant to test the cultivator, not to kill them. As long as the 5th stage heavenly tribulation could be delayed for an hour, it would be considered over. It was absolutely impossible to defeat the heavenly tribulation. The power of the divine ability tribulation and the bloodline heavenly tribulation depended on the strength of the person transcending the heavenly tribulation. They would always be stronger than the person transcending the heavenly tribulation. When Xueqi broke through to the 4th order, she relied on her wings to dodge attacks. This time, the heavenly tribulation white tiger used the wind-controlling divine ability, so Xueqi's wings couldn't help. Heaven's calamity white tiger saw that Yu Feng was unable to win and immediately pounced forward. Xueqi was determined to stall for time. She maintained her small figure and wrapped herself in a layer of spiritual power, allowing him to hit her however he wanted. The white tiger of heavenly tribulation used all kinds of methods, but even after an hour, it still couldn't completely finish off Xueqi. In the end, the white tiger could only detonate its own tribulation power to give Xueqi the final blow. Xueqi hadn't lived in vain all these years. Although the heavenly tribulation white tiger had self-detonated, she had only fainted. His life force was still very tenacious, and he didn't even need Wang Daoyuan to replenish his life force. A quarter of an hour later, a gift from the heavens descended. Soon, Xueqi woke up. Looking at the auspicious clouds in the sky and sensing the state of his body, he revealed a smile that was extremely similar to that of a human. I've finally survived another calamity. I can eat, drink, and play for another few hundred years. The gift from the heavens and earth of a rank 5 demonic beast was no longer of any use to Wang Daoyuan, so he didn't share any of it. After the gift from the heavens and earth, Xueqi instantly disappeared, bringing along a gust of wind. Then, he suddenly appeared beside Wang Daoyuan and Zhou Wan. His speed was far faster than an ordinary early-stage Yuanian cultivator, and his combat power was probably not weak. He shrunk his body to 1 foot long and rubbed against Wang Daoyuan's leg. Wang Daoyuan naturally knew what he meant and took out some spiritual fruits to feed him. When he was satisfied with the fruits, he kept them in the space of his spiritual pearl. Wang Daoyuan and Zhou Wan also set off to return to the Fire Lotus Island. When they arrived in front of their courtyard, they saw that there were cultivators watching them. These people were most likely sent by Lin Xiao. He was worried that they would escape without completing the refining task. Wang Daoyuan was too lazy to care about these things. Collecting high-grade refining materials was the most important thing in business. Half a year passed quickly, and Lin Xiao came to the small courtyard again. Wang Daoyuan gave him 50 crossbow bolts. Daoyu, take a look at these bolts. If there are no problems, give me the spirit stones. If you want to continue working with me, don't ask me to refine these things. If I have the time to refine these trash for the Imperial Regency, I might as well refine some magic tools and sell them to rogue cultivators. Lin Xiao smiled apologetically. Wu Daoyu, don't be offended. I've brought you something good this time. I'll give you 5 sets of materials. If you can refine them, I'll give you 100,000 high-grade spirit stones. It's just that this thing is not easy to refine. Can you do it? Wang Daoyuan only had a few 100,000 high-grade spirit stones. 100,000 high-grade spirit stones was indeed a high price. Don't keep me guessing. Just tell me what it is. If I can do it, I won't refuse. If I can't do it, I won't take this job either. Lin Xiao mysteriously took out a dozen jade slips. Wang Daoyuan casually took a jade slip and looked at it. There's no need to look. Isn't it just the flying warship spirit energy conversion device? I thought it was something mysterious. 100,000 high-grade spirit stones. You're really willing to spend. Refining the spirit energy conversion device was considered a hard and tiring job in refining the flying warship. Most blacksmiths were unwilling to do it. After all, rank 5 blacksmiths couldn't understand the law inscriptions. They could only follow the contents of the ancient books and inscribe them bit by bit. However, Wang Daoyuan had already mastered the common law inscriptions. Inscribing law inscriptions was not much different from inscribing tool inscriptions or array inscriptions. The materials used for the spirit energy conversion device were all good stuff. They were even better than the materials used for the flying warship's core. After all, the entire warship's spirit energy had to go through this device. 5 sets of materials meant that he had earned 4 sets for free. There was also a reward of 100,000 high-grade spirit stones. Only now did he realize that the Imperial Regency was really a good person. Lin Xiao's eyes lit up. You can refine this? Not many itinerant cultivators know this. You don't need to know how I do it, but it's not difficult at all. Give me 100,000 high-grade spirit stones and refining materials. If I don't need to nurture it, I can refine it in a year. Lin Xiao was overjoyed. Really? Leave the materials here. Just bring 100,000 high-grade spirit stones here a year later. Lin Xiao took out a cosmos ring. The materials are all here. I'll bring 100,000 high-grade spirit stones here a year later. Wang Daoyuan took the cosmos ring. The last time I went out, it was because the spirit beast I raised was going through a tribulation. You don't have to send someone to keep an eye on me. I won't leave if I can earn spirit stones. When it's time to leave, even a soul formation cultivator won't be able to stop me. Lin Xiao could only smile apologetically. Wu Daoyu, you must be joking. I'm just doing business. I don't mean anything else. After sending Lin Xiao away, Wang Daoyuan took out the refining materials. It was a grayish-white, high-quality, level 5 material called 100 alchemy gold. It wasn't a natural metal material, but a mixture of various metals and then forged with a secret method. This method could make up for the defects of some excellent metal materials and retain their advantages. Different forging secret methods and raw materials would lead to different characteristics and grades of 100 alchemy gold. Generally speaking, 100 alchemy gold had no obvious defects and could be refined into all kinds of magic artifacts. It was still very valuable. The 100 alchemy gold that Lin Xiao gave was more than 200 kilograms in total, which was indeed enough to refine 5 spiritual power conversion devices. It shouldn't be a problem to sell these level 5 high-quality 100 alchemy gold for 100,000 or 200,000 high-grade spirit stones. The Imperial Regency was really generous to use this thing to refine spiritual power conversion devices. Zhou Wan also came over to take a look. This is the legendary 100 alchemy gold? It's recorded in Blood Shadow's ancient books, but I've never seen it before. With my level, one set of materials is enough. If you want, I can refine a few magic artifacts for you with the rest. There aren't many level 5 high-quality materials. You can keep them for great use. I have a few magic artifacts left behind by the ancestors of Blood Shadow, so you don't have to worry about me. If you're busy refining, there's no point in me just watching. Let's go into your portable mystic realm. You can also take a look at the ancient books of the Valley of Beasts and supervise Yun Yi's cultivation. Wang Daoyuan naturally had no objections. He put her into the space of the spirit pearl and cut out a piece of 100 alchemy gold to forge. With his current level, it would only take him 3 months to refine it directly. In order to deepen his understanding of the spiritual power conversion device and prepare to improve the inscriptions in the future, he patiently studied all the inscriptions. Sometimes, his primordial spirit would enter the space of the spirit pearl and use the flow of time to comprehend the inscriptions used on it. During the refining process, Wang Daoyuan also left a simple method inside a part. With this method alone, he had to prevent being discovered. Naturally, it couldn't affect the entire device too much, but it could allow him to sense the approximate location of this thing. If the Imperial Regency really had a son of Providence, it was only a matter of time before he dealt with them. With this thing, he might be able to find out where the Imperial Regency's nest was. Just as he was about to finish, a jade pendant in his cosmos ring broke. This jade pendant was the special communication jade pendant that Moon Sung Cheon gave him. They had agreed that he would crush the jade pendant after he took back the position of the family head. The 2 jade pendants were refined with a secret method. If one of them broke, the other would also break. No matter how far away they were, even in a mystic realm, it was often used to send messages over a long distance. Now that the jade pendant was broken, there was a high chance that Moon Sung Cheon had taken back the position of the family head. Even if the usurper had the protection of a soul formation cultivator, the one family wouldn't give up a soul formation cultivator and a few Yuanian cultivators for a usurper. Since Moon Sung Cheon succeeded, Wang Daoyuan could also go and ask for his reward. As long as he could get a few suitable islands, he could return to Beiyuan Xiuxian and bring some people over. After refining the spiritual power conversion device and exchanging it for 100,000 upper-grade spirit stones, it was time to leave the Fire Lotus Island and go to the Endless Ice Sea. After spending a few days, he finished refining the spiritual power conversion device. When the 1-year period came, Lin Xiao came as promised. Wang Daoyuan took out a cosmos ring. "It's here, take a look." Lin Xiao took the cosmos ring and checked the spiritual power conversion device inside. Then he looked surprised. "I didn't expect Wu Dao Yu to be so capable. To tell you the truth, a few level 5 artifact refiners in our sect worked together. It took them several years to refine a spiritual power conversion device, which is far inferior to yours. Here are 100,000 upper-grade spirit stones. I wonder if Wu Dao Yu would like to continue refining this spiritual power conversion device?" Wang Daoyuan took the storage bag. "I have to go to the south for something, and it may take me a few years to come back. When I come back, as long as your sect can fulfill this condition, I will be willing to continue refining it." Lin Xiao certainly didn't want him to go. If he didn't make good use of such a coolie, it would be a waste. Unfortunately, most of the Imperial Regency's forces were on the Sea of Seven Stars to deal with the Seven Stars Alliance. There were only a few people on the Fire Lotus Island. If they dared to stop them, they would be courting death. Chapter 1020. After Wang Daoyuan finished speaking, he stared at Lin Xiao. His face was also somewhat conflicted. He was probably wondering if he should make a move. In the end, he could only sigh. It's a pity that Dao Yu can't continue to help the Imperial Regency refine artifacts. Then I wish Dao Yu a safe journey and return to the Fire Lotus Island as soon as possible. I still have a lot of refining tasks waiting for Dao Yu. Wang Daoyuan cupped his hands and said, Dao Yu, don't worry. When I return to the Fire Lotus Island in the future, I will definitely find Dao Yu. The two chatted for a while more. Lin Xiao left the small courtyard with a heavy heart. The little trick in the spiritual power conversion device might not work. The Imperial Regency had a heritage of tens of thousands of years. Such a big force couldn't lack capable people. It wasn't a big deal to be discovered. It was just a casual move. If this plan didn't work, there was no loss. If it worked, it would be a huge gain. Wang Daoyuan opened the small courtyard's formation and brought Zhou Wan out of the space of the spiritual pearl. Why did you bring me out? I've read all the books in your secret realm. In the past year, Zhou Wan had spent most of her time in the space of the spiritual pearl. Her cultivation had already reached the peak of Yuanying. It was just that the soul formation tribulation was too risky. It was best to train her mind before the tribulation. Her greatest interest was to read some secrets. After all, she was in the intelligence business before. Although she didn't have to manage the intelligence business herself now, she was still used to it. The heritage of the Valley of Beasts has been accumulated for hundreds of thousands of years. You won't be able to completely understand it, even if you spend another few thousand years. The jade pendant that the Moon Sung Cheon gave me was broken. Now we are going to the Endless Ice Sea to get the reward. After choosing a place to stay, we will return to Beiyuan Xiuxian. If you don't want to come out, I will go to the One Family alone. You want to meet your old flame while I'm not around? Dream on. Wang Daoyuan hurriedly changed the topic. Why would I have such thoughts? By the way, Lord Shadow Master, how is your artifact spirit? Zhou Wan waved her hand, and a scarlet luan flew out. The crimson phoenix circled around Zhou Wan a few times, and let out a phoenix cry that sounded like a clear spring. From the looks of it, it should have taken shape. However, compared to Wang Daoyuan's 5 artifact spirits, their foundations were much weaker, and they were only at the upper grade of the 5th stage. My artifact spirit is not as dumb as your 5 artifact spirits. Things take after their master. Lord Shadow Master is extremely intelligent, so the artifact spirit he raised is naturally the same. These words made Zhou Wan very happy, and she no longer mentioned the Black Ice Fairy. The two of them packed up and left the small courtyard. Wang Daoyuan activated all the formations in the small courtyard, and then drove the flying boat to the southwest. After flying southwest for 2 or 3 days, the two of them changed to Lei Peng's flying boat and turned north. On the way, they naturally released 2 clones to drive the flying boat, and recorded the islands and sea conditions along the way. Wang Daoyuan and Zhou Wan stayed in the cabin, discussing some questions about cultivation and life. Half a month later, the flying boat arrived at the edge of the Endless Ice Sea. The two of them changed to an ordinary flying boat and went to the Mystic Realm where they healed Moon Sung Cheon. When they arrived at the small mountain outside the Mystic Realm, someone immediately came out to greet them. This person was Moon Sung Cheon. Wang Daoyuan cupped his hands and said, "Should I call you Master One now? Speaking of which, I have to thank Dao Yu. If it weren't for your help, I wouldn't have been able to take back the position of Master. I've already prepared the reward for Dao Yu. Let's talk inside." Wang Daoyuan and Zhou Wan followed behind him and entered the Mystic Realm. As soon as they entered the Mystic Realm, Wang Daoyuan immediately summoned his 5 natal magic artifacts to protect himself. "Wen Dao Yu, this is a bit unkind. No matter what, I helped you. In this small mystic realm, there are 2 cultivators in the middle stage of the soul formation realm. Are you trying to ambush me?" An old voice sounded. "Ha ha ha, little friend Zhou is indeed extraordinary. He can refine 5 natal magic artifacts at the same time, and they all have spirits. The force behind little friend is definitely not something our One family can compare to. The 2 of us are only here to meet the young heroes. We have no intention of offending them. Besides, Such a small mystic realm can't withstand a battle between soul formation realm cultivators. If the mystic realm is destroyed, we can't guarantee that we can escape unscathed. Moon Sung-cheon also smiled and said, "These are the two grand elders of our Wen family. They heard about Dao Yu and wanted to come and see." Wang Daoyuan put away his magic artifacts. "Since the two of you are here, why didn't you tell me in advance? Were you worried that I wouldn't dare to come in? I didn't think this through. Please forgive me, Dao Yu." The old voice said again, "Little friend Zhou, please come to this stone room for a chat. The One family won't go back on our promises. The reward for Dao Yu is in this stone room." Wang Daoyuan held Zhou Wan's hand and walked into the stone room. If there was a trap, it wouldn't be a big deal. The two of them hid in the space of the spiritual pearl. Even a powerful cultivator couldn't do anything to the spiritual pearl. After entering the stone room, they saw two elders sitting on the main seats. The two of them were wearing ice blue and fire red robes respectively. It could be seen that they were ice and fire cultivators respectively. The blue-robed cultivator smiled. "I am the grand elder of the One family. Thank you, little friend Zhou, for saving Cheng Tian and healing his injuries. Our Wen family has another soul formation realm cultivator." Wang Daoyuan waved his hand. "Senior One, you don't have to be like this. I just have a request." The red-robed cultivator's tone was slightly unfriendly. "I heard that when the Seven Stars Mystic Realm opened, little friend Zhou was only in the early Yuanying realm. The sword intent you displayed then resonated with the things in the Ziwei Palace. Is that true?" Wang Daoyuan didn't hold back and directly released the Gue Yuan sword intent. The strong killing intent shocked the three of them. "This is my sword intent." Seeing that Wang Daoyuan wanted to show off, the blue-robed cultivator hurriedly tried to smooth things over. "My younger brother's temper isn't very good. Little friend, please forgive him. This sword intent is indeed strong. In comparison, the sword cultivator inheritances of the Alioth sword sect are like child's play. However, such a strong sword intent has never appeared in the Sea of Seven Stars. May I know where little friend's master is and what relationship do you have with the Shenlian school?" "I don't have any direct relationship with the Shenlian school. It's just that an elder in the family was an old friend of one of the Shenlian school sect masters. There was a relic left behind by an elder in the Ziwei Palace. I just happened to come across it and took it back." With this, the two grand elders were intimidated. They were even more convinced that Wang Daoyuan had an extremely strong family behind him. Wang Daoyuan struck while the iron was hot. "I've discussed the remuneration with the One family head. May I know how the two seniors will arrange it?" The red-robed cultivator took out two golden books. These are the original copies of the two golden books that the Wen family's disciples snatched when they entered the Ziwei Palace. "Since Cheng Tian has already agreed, you can copy the copies yourself." Wang Daoyuan waved his hand and the two golden books instantly appeared in his hands. The three Wen family members were very shocked. How could he snatch something from a mid-soul formation cultivator without him being able to react? If this method was used to kill, it would be very difficult to dodge. The law of space can actually snatch something from second brother's hands in an instant. As expected, the younger generation will surpass us in time. I'm afraid this old man is no longer little friend's opponent. Wang Daoyuan flipped through the two golden books and at the same time, had his doppelganger in the space of the spiritual pearl copy them down. Of the two golden books, one was an ordinary refining technique. Wang Daoyuan really didn't care about it. The other book was a level 6 puppet technique. Back then, he had snatched 3 puppet technique manuals, from level 1 to level 5. This level 6 puppet technique was just right for him. After he finished copying, the two golden books disappeared from his hands and reappeared in the hands of the red-robed cultivator. "You're too kind, Grand Elder. How should we arrange this island?" The blue-robed cultivator took out a beast skin scroll. After he opened it, rays of light appeared on the beast skin. Finally, the light formed a light map. Moon Sung-cheon pointed to the center of the map and said, "This is Mystic Ice Island. There are several volcanic islands more than 300,000 miles to the southwest called the Earth Flame Archipelago. Although there are level 6 spirit veins there are also a few level 6 spirit beasts there. The One family's strength is not enough to take over the Earth Flame Archipelago. Plus, we don't have many people, so we haven't thought about taking over there. If Dao Yu is strong enough, You can settle down here. The Wen family's arrangement was a test. If the power behind Wang Daoyuan was strong enough and he didn't care about a few level 6 spirit beasts, he would naturally choose to take over the Earth Flame Archipelago. If he wasn't strong enough, he would give up on this place. Wang Daoyuan was rather tempted by the Earth Flame Archipelago. A place with volcanoes would usually have a lot of high-level refining materials. Furthermore, the land around the volcanoes was more fertile and suitable for opening up spirit fields. With the volcanoes, it was also convenient to build a fire chamber to refine pills. He could also use the firepower of the volcanoes to set up an array to dissolve the cold air from the depths of the endless ice sea, and create a territory suitable for ordinary people to live in. As for the volcanic eruption, it was even less of a problem. A volcanic eruption was originally caused by the excess spirit energy in the lava that was accumulated in one place. With Wang Daoyuan's cultivation and attainments in array formations, it wouldn't take much effort to draw out the excess fire and earth spirit energy in the lava. Furthermore, there was the scarlet yang true fire and the dust returning flame. No matter how much spirit energy there was, it would be consumed. I want this land. A few level 6 spirit beasts are nothing to be afraid of. I also want some level 6 refining materials. I wonder if the One family can sell some? The red-robed cultivator chuckled. The One family has a foundation of tens of thousands of years. Naturally, we don't lack level 6 refining materials. However, what can our little friend use to exchange for them? You can't use spirit stones to exchange for level 6 refining materials, right? When I was traveling in the myriad demon islands, there were many cultivators who escaped from the rare treasure island. After some investigation, I learned a lot about the situation of the rare treasure island. I wonder if the Wen family is interested in the reason why the Blood Shark and the Seven Stars Alliance are fighting? The two strongest forces in the Qixing Sea Xiuxian community were fighting. Naturally, others would want to know the inside story. The blue-robed cultivator took out a cold metal material from his storage ring. This is level 6 low-grade deep abyss frost iron. If placed in an extremely cold place, it has a chance of breaking through level 6 mid-grade. This piece weighs more than 50 kilograms. It won't be a problem to sell it for 1,000,000 high-grade spirit stones. It seemed that the One family was really anxious. It was a good opportunity to extort them. Senior, this refining material is not ordinary. I can tell you the information I've gathered. Based on this information and the secret information I've gathered, I made some conjectures. The results of these conjectures are more important than the information I've gathered. The blue-robed cultivator glanced at the red-robed cultivator. The red-robed cultivator clenched his teeth and took out a fist-sized fiery red crystal. This is a lava fire crystal. You're also a refiner. I don't need to tell you its value. Chapter 1021. Wang Daoyuan was well aware of the value of these two materials. The abyss frost iron was nurtured in the ice sea and was an ice attribute material. Other than being able to release a huge amount of cold air to hurt the enemy, it could also absorb a large amount of cold air. A magic tool forged from deep abyss frigid iron had a miraculous effect against ice-type cultivators. Furthermore, the strength of the abyss frost iron was extremely high and was one of the best among the same grade of materials. No matter what kind of magic weapon was forged, there was no need to consider the issue of strength. 100 kilograms of abyss frost iron was worth 1,000,000 spirit stones. If it was placed on Rare Treasures Island, people would fight for it for 1.5 million spirit stones. The value of the lava fire crystal was much higher than the abyss frost iron. From the name, one could tell that it was nurtured in the lava. Furthermore, to nurture the lava fire crystal, the lava had to nurture the earth fire. The lava fire crystal was formed from some metal materials that had been roasted for a long time by the earth fire to remove all impurities and absorb a huge amount of earth fire essence. The value of the earth fire essence depended on its foundation. Different metal materials would form different lava fire crystals. No matter what kind of lava fire crystal it was, its value was extremely high. Even if its strength was not high, the earth fire essence it contained was not just for show. When forging a fire attribute magic weapon, adding some as supplementary materials could greatly increase the value of the magic weapon. When a magic weapon was added with earth fire essence, its power would be greatly increased when using fire attribute techniques. Furthermore, this thing also had the characteristic of rapidly absorbing fire attribute spiritual energy, and had a certain restraining effect on fire attribute opponents. Apart from that, the lava fire crystal could also exert some effects of the fire essence. If this thing was used to nurture the spirit fire, it would be extremely beneficial for increasing the grade and power of the spirit fire. Although the abyss frost iron was precious, there were no ice attribute cultivators in the Wang family with outstanding talent. Using such a good material for refining tools to refine ordinary magic tools was truly a waste of God's gifts. However, the lava fire crystal was more valuable. There were many fire attribute cultivators in the Wang family, and many of them had matured. Wang Daoyuan put away the two kinds of refining materials. The two seniors are really generous. I can't be stingy anymore. According to the rogue cultivators on Rare Treasure Island at that time, a few years before Blood Shark attacked Rare Treasure Island, there were frequent undersea earthquakes in the southern waters of Rare Treasure Island. Moreover, there were also loose cultivators who went to investigate, saying that they had discovered the aura of spatial laws. Blood Shark and the Seven Stars Alliance also sent people to seal off the area where the earthquake occurred. With the One clan's tens of thousands of years of heritage, they should know what this means. Moon Sangqiu nodded. It is said that before the appearance of the Seven-Star Secret Realm, there was a similar phenomenon. Rumor has it that the two sides started the war over the Secret Realm. Looks like it's true. The red-robed cultivator was enraged. Junior, you're asking for a piece of deep abyss frost iron and a lava fire crystal just because of that bit of information? Wang Daoyuan smiled and said, Senior, don't be anxious. The two sides didn't start the war just for this. Think about it, if it was just for this secret realm, why didn't they start a war when it was first discovered? They even sent cultivators to seal off the news and only started the war a few years later. What I'm going to say next can't be recorded in the One clan's ancient records. The three of them were intrigued and stared at Wang Daoyuan with wide eyes. A few days before the blood shark took action, a strange golden kirin suddenly appeared in a blood shark's shop in the market of Rare Treasures Island. This strange kirin's power far exceeded that of a soul formation cultivator and was more than 1,000 feet long. After appearing for a dozen breaths, it disappeared into thin air. None of the surrounding buildings were damaged and none of the cultivators were injured. The red-robed cultivator hurriedly said, Don't keep us in suspense. It's just a demonic beast with Kirin's bloodline. Although it's rare, it's not like it hasn't appeared before. Of course, demonic beasts with Kirin's bloodline are not rare. However, have you heard of a Kirin that has the characteristics of a true dragon, a Kirin, and a pair of phoenix wings? The three of them looked at each other and the blue-robed cultivator said, The bloodlines of the divine beasts are mixed and they might restrain each other. It's very difficult to produce an expert. With 3 types of divine beasts' bloodlines in one body, 99% of the demonic beasts born will be trash. Even if they're not trash, they're far inferior to a semi-divine beast. It's impossible for them to be very powerful. Since you dare to quote such a price, you must know what it is. Hurry up and tell us. This thing is not a Kirin's bloodline, but a Kirin's ancestor. There's a rumor in my clan that when the Qian Yuan realm was first formed, some spirit clans were born. Among these spirit clans, there's an extremely powerful spirit beast called Yinglong. He's the ancestor of the current 5 elements divine beasts. In terms of strength, he's one of the best. I wonder if there's any record of him in the One clan's ancient records? The blue-robed cultivator shook his head. I've been in charge of the One clan for more than 2,000 years, but I've never seen anything about Yinglong. This Yinglong is the ancestor of the Dragon clan. His entire body is bright yellow, and he has a pair of wings. The Phoenix clan's wings are inherited from him. Yinglong gave birth to Kenma, and Kenma gave birth to Kirin. Although I haven't seen this strange Kirin with my own eyes, I can basically confirm that this thing is Kenma from the information provided by the itinerant cultivator. He's the son of Yinglong and the ancestor of Kirin. Naturally, he has the characteristics of both. Kenma's bloodline is far above the 5 elements divine beasts. Has the One clan ever heard of a divine beast stronger than the 5 elements divine beasts? The 3 of them shook their heads together. Wang Daoyuan continued, Yinglong is not only powerful, but also a symbol of providence. Ordinary cultivators will suffer a backlash from providence if they draw Yinglong's image. Therefore, no one has ever dared to use Yinglong's image to refine magic tools or create magic arts. There are only some descriptions of his image. Kenma has Yinglong's bloodline, so he must have inherited part of Yinglong's providence. Therefore, this Kenma can't be created by magic tools or magic arts. The Sea of 7 Stars doesn't have a rank 7 spirit vein, so it's impossible to breed such a powerful divine beast. At that time, Kenma's body also had some purple light. I guess there are two possibilities. First, a supreme treasure from the primordial era appeared on Rare Treasures Island. This supreme treasure is extremely extraordinary, and it's very likely to be directly related to Kenma. However, only one Kenma has ever appeared in the world. How could it so coincidentally appear in such a remote place like the Sea of 7 Stars? Second, someone opened up the Purple Palace. This Kenma is a Purple Palace anomaly. The one family should know what it means to have a Purple Palace anomaly that far surpasses the 5 elements divine beasts and has extremely strong providence. The blue-robed elder gasped. A son of providence. Wang Daoyuan smiled and nodded. I think so too. Whether it's a primordial era supreme treasure or a son of providence, Blood Shark will greatly improve his strength. Rare Treasures Island is the balance between the two forces. This matter can't be hidden from the 7 Stars Alliance. Blood Shark probably wants to strike first and gain the upper hand by taking down Rare Treasures Island first. Senior, since you know about the Son of Providence, you must know about the Battle of Providence. The blue-robed elder nodded. I obtained many books from the 7 Stars Mystic Realm, so I know a little about this matter. The Qixing Sea Xiuxian community is located in the Qian Yuan realm. Every time the Qian Yuan realm has a great tribulation, many cultivators with great providence will appear. These people grow much faster than ordinary people. When they cultivate to the mighty figure realm, they will start the Battle of Providence. The final winner will become the tribulation taker and resist the impending tribulation. The person who helps the Son of Providence win will also receive some providence and become a top force in the Qian Yuan realm. It's not impossible to nurture an earth immortal in the future. Upon hearing this, the red-robed elder's face lit up with excitement. Then if we join Blood Shark, won't the one family be able to advance further in the future? The blue-robed elder shouted sternly. Fool, the Qian Yuan realm has more than one Sea of 7 Stars. Legend has it that in the southwest direction, beyond the decimating heaven abyss, there is a continent. That is the core of the Qian Yuan realm. On that continent, there are many Earth Immortal legacies, countless Mighty Figure and Mahayana legacies. Every Son of Providence has to participate in the Battle of Providence. The Sea of 7 Stars has such a weak foundation. Can the Son of Providence here deal with the Son of Providence on the Qian Yuan continent? If we join Blood Shark, will our Wen family attack the entire Qian Yuan continent with the Son of Providence? Or will we wait until the strongest person on the Qian Yuan continent is determined before fighting with them? We have almost no chance of winning if we follow Blood Shark's Son of Providence. Even if we win, what can we do? Can the benefits our Wen family get be as big as Blood Shark? Once we fail, I'm afraid our Wen family will be in danger of being exterminated. Are we crazy to risk being exterminated to fight for the position of the second most powerful force in the Sea of 7 Stars? Moon Sungcheon asked. Then what should our Wen family do? Blood Shark has the help of the Son of Providence. Over time, the possibility of taking down the 7 Stars Alliance is very high. The blue-robed elder smiled and said, Since little friend Zhou said this, you must have some ideas. Why don't you tell us? Senior, what you said is generally correct. It's just that I know more. The Son of Providence isn't born with heaven-defying providence. Instead, as their cultivation increases, their providence will gradually increase. The Son of Providence in Blood Shark's hands should have just opened his Violet Palace. No matter how strong his providence is, it will only affect his luck and cultivation speed. A Violet Palace realm cultivator won't affect the outcome of the battle too much. Now that Blood Shark has taken down Rare Treasure Island, they have the upper hand. The two forces haven't fought for more than 2,000 years, so they should have accumulated a lot of resources. It will probably take another 100 or 200 years to determine the winner. During this time, it's best to bide their time. When the 7 Stars Alliance is exhausted, the one family will help. It'll be best if they can eliminate Blood Shark. Even if they can't completely eliminate it, they have to suppress it. As long as they delay, when the Son of Providence on the Qian Yuan continent attacks, Blood Shark Son of Providence won't be able to do much. By then, the one family will work with the Son of Providence from the outside to eliminate Blood Shark. By limiting Blood Shark's contribution, the Son of Providence from the outside will give us some benefits. We won't have to risk the destruction of our family, and we can still gain a lot of benefits. Moon Sungcheon and the red-robed elder were delighted, but the blue-robed elder was calm. Then what about Daoyou's force, Zhou? Since my family has decided to settle down in the frozen tundra and is deeply involved with the One family, we will naturally advance and retreat together with the One family. In the Battle of Providence, no matter how well we hide, we will be involved. Plus, there will be a great calamity later. We can't hide from it. If the One family doesn't mind that my family is weak, I am willing to form an alliance with the One family. When one side is attacked, the other side will have to fight the enemy together. The three semi-god realm cultivators of the One family started to discuss this through telepathy. Wang Daoyuan was happy to have some free time. He quietly waited for them to come to a conclusion. After a long time, the blue-robed elder said, "Of course, we are very tempted by little friend Zhou's suggestion. However, the One family doesn't know much about our little friend's family. This alliance is a bit hasty. This is just a suggestion. After this is over, I will return to my family and report this to the elders. Next time, I will bring some of my family members to settle down in the Earth Flame Islands. After we have a firm foothold, we will formally discuss the alliance with the One family." The blue-robed elder said with a smile, "That's good. I can make a promise. As long as you are sincere, the One family is willing to form an alliance with you." Chapter 1022. With this, Wang Daoyuan was relieved. The One family promised that they would show more strength the next time they came. He was not afraid that the One family would not form an alliance. With this alliance, there was a foundation for cooperation. In the future, the two families would formally form an alliance and cooperate for a few decades. The low-level cultivators would then marry. The Wang family and the One family were like the Yang family in the past. The relationship between the two families was very harmonious. When one side was strong, the other side would naturally rely on it. There would be no conflicts in between. After all, both sides had been relatives for many years. If one side relied on the other, they would have many in-laws and cousins to rely on. There was no need to worry about a future. If he broke through to the Mahayana realm, the Wen family would naturally become a subordinate force of the Wang family, just like the Yang family in the past. If the Wang family's higher-ups had some marriage alliances with the Wen family, the Wen family would also become the Wang family's hardcore. In particular, the Wen family's grand elder was a smart person who knew who he could not provoke. Such a person was easy to deal with and would not do anything stupid. Although he was not young, it would not be a problem for him to live for more than 1,000 years. 1,000 years was enough for him to cultivate to the almighty realm. At that time, even if the Wen family changed the helmsman and the new helmsman was a fool, he would not dare to go against the almighty. With Xinya's words, I'm relieved. I have to return to the family as soon as possible, so I won't stay here for long. I hope the Wen family will pay more attention to the blood sharks matter. After saying that, he took out a jade pendant. When my people migrate over, I will crush this jade pendant. At that time, our two families can discuss cooperation in some business. If there are any big changes in the Sea of Seven Stars, you can crush the jade pendant. I will rush over as soon as possible. This jade pendant was refined by the clone using the secret technique of the Valley of Beasts. Whether it was the materials used or the refining method, it was much better than the jade pendant that Moon Sung Cheon had given him. This was also a means to scare the Wen family and make them believe that there was a powerful hidden family behind him. Moon Sung Cheon took the jade pendant. Wang Daoyuan took Zhou Wan and walked out. The three members of the Wen clan followed behind to see them off. Outside the secret realm, Wang Daoyuan cupped his hands and said, "The three of you don't have to see us off anymore. We'll take our leave now." After saying that, he directly took out Lei Peng's flying boat. The two of them boarded the flying boat and headed southwest. In order to show off his strength, Wang Daoyuan even increased the speed of Lei Peng's flying boat to the extreme. The entire flying boat quickly disappeared from the sight of the Wen clan's trio. Wen clan's second supreme elder sucked in a breath of cold air. "Big brother, have you heard of this kind of flying boat? Judging from its speed, it should be able to fly around 40,000 kilometers in 2 hours. A grade 5 flying magic tool can actually reach such a speed." First Supreme Elder shook his head. "I've never seen one either. A 6th-tier flying magic tool can have this kind of speed, but that would require a mid-tier 6th-tier item. Although there are many ancient books and precious spiritual plants in the Seven Stars secret realm, I've never found a flying magic tool. It seems that the power behind Zhou Ming is not simple. Even a flying magic tool is so extraordinary. In addition to that powerful sword intent, the 5 life-bound magic tools have weapon spirits, and all kinds of secrets that we don't know. We can be sure that the power behind Zhou is much stronger than our Wen clan. Second Supreme Elder asked, will our Wen clan become Zhou subordinate power in the future? The great tribulation of heaven and earth is coming. It's good enough that we can keep our inheritance. The few words in the Shenlian school's ancient books also mentioned that countless forces would disappear every time there was a great tribulation of heaven and earth. Didn't even Shenlian school disappear? It's very likely because of the last great tribulation of heaven and earth. For a force like our Wen clan that doesn't even have a Mahayana cultivator, we can't even find a place to ride the coattails of a mighty figure or an earth immortal. Now that we can form an alliance with Zhou family, we can be considered as huddling together for warmth. It will be easier for us to ride on their coattails in the future. If this force is really strong enough, what can we do if we directly join them? How about we find a way to marry Zhou even if our Wen clan's woman becomes his concubine? The first elder shook his head. I actually didn't sense any decaying aura from Zhou body. Cheng Tian saw him before he broke through to the soul formation realm. At that time, he also didn't have a trace of decay. This means that he is very young. He should be less than 500 years old. How many people like him have there been in the history of the Sea of 7 Stars? But he only chose to marry one Dao companion. Do you think this Zhou is an ordinary person? Moon Sungcheon shook his head. This woman has the bloodline of a divine beast, which means that she has an extraordinary background. She also doesn't have a trace of decay. She should be young. Zhou values her so much. The elders in this woman's family are definitely not weak. If we meddle in their affairs and anger the elders in Zhou family, the Wen clan may be destroyed. First Supreme Elder nodded repeatedly. Cheng Tian is right. We shouldn't meddle in the affairs of the force behind Zhou. We can agree to whatever they want as long as it doesn't harm the interests of the Wen clan. On the other side, Wang Daoyuan didn't return to Beiyuan Xiuxian directly. Instead, he took a detour to the Earth Flame Archipelago. After the flying boat flew for more than 10,000 miles, Zhou smiled and said, your acting is really good. You managed to fool the 3 old guys of the Wen clan. They should be convinced that there is a very strong force behind you now. Also, this force has been passed down since ancient times. Its foundation is not inferior to the Shenlian school. That's not wrong. Although Beiyuan has declined, its cultivation methods and foundation are still far superior to the Sea of 7 Stars. With my portable secret realm, I can cultivate a large number of Yuanying experts in 100 years. Especially Mingchen. He should be able to reach the soul formation realm in 200 or 300 years. Plus Yumi Yen and Jia Qi. Our Wang clan's strength will soon surpass the Wen clan. The flying boat arrived at the eastern part of the Earth Flame Archipelago. From afar, they saw 6 volcanoes that were more than 3,000 feet tall. 3 of them were slowly leaking lava. These 6 volcanoes were divided into ribbons that stretched for more than 30,000 miles from the west to the east. Sensing the spirit energy waves in the lava, they should all be at the 6th stage. This place was around 50,000 miles away from the southern edge of the ice field. The Lone Star Island was at the northwest edge of the Sea of 7 Stars. The Earth Flame Archipelago was more than 1,000,000 miles away from the northwest of the Lone Star Island. It was considered far away from the Sea of 7 Stars. Since it was so far away, there was no need to worry about the Sea of 7 Stars causing trouble. Although it was in the endless ice sea, the volcanoes weren't completely covered in ice. The flying boat circled around the Earth Flame Archipelago. There were 6 large islands and more than 20 small islands. The 6 large volcanoes were located on the 6 large islands. The westernmost island was also the largest, with a diameter of more than 2,000 miles. There was a 6-stage neutral spirit vein on the island. Apart from a large volcano and a few small hills, the rest were flat. It was perfect for developing spirit fields. The other 5 islands weren't much smaller than this one, with diameters of more than 500 miles. As long as these 6 large islands could stabilize the volcanoes, it wouldn't be a problem to feed millions of people. If there were enough Chenkuan gourds to grow spirit grains, it wouldn't be a problem to feed tens of millions of people. There were also many volcanoes on the 20 small islands. It was just that the islands were too small and the volcano's influence was too great. It wasn't suitable for ordinary clansmen to live in. However, It wasn't a bad idea to let cultivators breed spirit beasts there. No one had lived here before, so the islands didn't have names. They were just called the Earth Flame Archipelago. In the future, the Earth Flame Archipelago would fall into the hands of the Wang clan, so they might as well give it a name. The 7 large islands in the Sea of 7 Stars were named after the Big Dipper. Wang Daoyuan planned to name the 6 large islands according to the 6 stars of the Big Dipper. From west to east, they were Heavenly Treasury Island, Heavenly Bridge Island, Heavenly Fate Island, Heavenly Unity Island, Heavenly Phase Island, and 7 Kills Island. As for the other small islands, he would leave them to the cultivators of his clan to name. Although the distribution of the islands had nothing to do with the 6 stars of the Big Dipper, it wasn't a big deal to name them that way. After all, there weren't any other islands in the Qixing Sea Xiuxian community with this name. Liao Yang and Chen Zhaoyi's clones had long been brought out. One of them was steering the flying boat while the other was recording the sea situation of the Earth Flame Archipelago. The volcanoes of the 6 large islands all had the aura of 6-stage demon beasts. Lei Peng's flying boat didn't get too close. It only flew past them 500 miles away. Wang Daoyuan and Zhou Wan both retracted their auras, and the demon beasts didn't make a move either. When they reached the westernmost Heavenly Treasury Island, there was a powerful dragon aura in the volcanoes. From the looks of it, there should be a 6-stage dragon hidden in the volcanoes. The flying boat didn't dare to get close. It just circled around the southern part of the island. However, the demon beasts on the Heavenly Treasury Island didn't know how to appreciate favors. A dragon's roar resounded through the sky, and a fiery red flood dragon flew out of the volcanoes. Lava was slowly flowing out of the volcanoes, and under this guy's interference, it began to shake. After a few breaths, the blazing lava spewed out more than 2,000 feet high. This flood dragon's appearance wasn't bad. Except for the fact that it only had 3 fingers on its 4 claws, it was no different from a real dragon. Obviously, this was a semi-divine beast. Moreover, this guy's cultivation wasn't low. It had already reached the 6th stage. Fighting such a demon beast really wasn't a joke. Wang Daoyuan instructed, "Shadow Lord, take the flying boat to the west first. I'll play with this flood dragon." After saying that, he turned into a silver light and instantly disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already more than 200 miles north of the flying boat. The flood dragon also flew over and roared at Wang Daoyuan, "A bug-like human dares to wander in front of me. I haven't eaten a human for hundreds of years. You're just right." After saying that, it spat out a huge fireball. Wang Daoyuan took out the Xian cauldron and took the fireball. Then, he activated his divine ability domain, and 3010th water divine thunders appeared out of thin air and smashed toward the flood dragon. This flood dragon's strength wasn't bad. Its body was wrapped in a thick layer of lava. The 10th water divine thunders were all blocked. The 10th water divine thunders that had been deduced to the 6th stage were still not enough. Especially the lack of penetration ability, they were all blocked by 10% of the lava. Next, he tested the power of the Heavenly Dipper Sword formation, but it was also blocked by the lava. After returning to Beiyuan, he had to deduce it properly. If the quality wasn't enough, quantity would make up for it. Wang Daoyuan relied on his divine ability domain to continuously use the 10th water divine thunders. The flood dragon used all its energy to defend and had no time to counterattack. After a dozen breaths, the flood dragon felt that it had no chance of winning. It turned around and flew back into the volcano. Wang Daoyuan didn't chase after it. He returned to Lei Peng's flying ship. Zhou Wan didn't fly far either. She kept watching Wang Daoyuan and the flood dragon fight. "Why didn't you take down the flood dragon? With your strength, it shouldn't be hard to keep it. It's a 6th-stage mid-grade demon beast, and a half-divine beast. Any one of its scales can be made into a 6th-stage Dharma artifact. It's useless to take it down. When we return to Beiyuan, we still have to deal with the demons there. We won't be able to get there without spending some time. If we kill the flood dragon now, other demons will come and occupy it. A 6th-stage mid-grade non-elemental spirit vein and a volcano. There might even be a 6th-stage mine on the island. The temptation is too great. If the one family is tempted and occupies this place in advance. If we fall out with the one family, all our previous efforts will be wasted. If we don't fall out, we won't be able to find such a good place to stay. Even if the one family doesn't make a move, The One family isn't the only one on Mystic Island. There are other small forces. If the human heart can't withstand the test, it's better to keep the flood dragon in case someone becomes greedy. Chapter 1023. Xueqi nodded. You're so thoughtful. Can we go back to Beiyuan Xiaoxian now? I've never left Beiyuan. I really miss the kids. It's good to be powerful. Including the time we spent on the road, we've almost finished everything in less than 10 years. You've reached the peak of the Yuanying realm. You have the secret skill to transform your spiritual power into divine sense. I'll help you cultivate. It's only a matter of time before you reach the perfect level. When you reach the perfect level, you can break through to the semi-god realm. The red sun primordial fire in the secret realm has reached the 6th level. It won't take long for the fire spirit to reach the next level. Next time we come, we'll have 3 semi-god realm warriors with us. We'll be able to stir up trouble in the Sea of 7 Stars. Xueqi couldn't believe it. I can reach the perfect level? Of course. We have the yin-yang mutual art. It can help you improve your body. The secret skill can generate a lot of divine sense. It's not a problem for you to reach the perfect level. In order to reach the perfect level as soon as possible, we have to hurry up and cultivate. Then, he carried Xueqi into the bedroom. In fact, the blood lotus seed could also improve the body. Since the yin-yang mutual art had the same effect, why waste such a precious treasure? Therefore, Wang Daoyuan didn't mention the blood lotus seed to Xueqi. On the way back, the flying boat took the same route. It flew west along the edge of the ice field. The 2 clones still needed to improve the sea conditions along the way in preparation for building a transit station in the future. It took them more time on the way back. It took them 3 years to reach the Mirage Mist Sea. Wang Daoyuan didn't plan to go back like this. Since they were going to deal with the beasts, it wasn't good to show up. After reaching the semi-god realm, Wang Daoyuan's ability to sense his clones had improved greatly. He sensed his clones at the mouth of the Purple Gold River. The ice tortoise was guarding the mouth of the Thousand River in Linhai State. The gray rock was patrolling the west side of the Sky Mountain. Xueqi was secretly protecting Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian in the desert north of the mountain. Ever since the 2 of them had established their Violet Palace, they had been traveling outside. The cultivation speed of a heavenly spirit root was still extremely terrifying. In just a little over 10 years, he had already reached the middle stage of the Violet Palace realm. If this continued, forming his gold core before he was 100 years old was a sure thing. According to the memories of the doppelganger, nothing major had happened in Beiyuan Xiaoxian during the 10 years they had been away. The Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce was still methodically annexing the various branches of Blood Shadow. Now, the Blood Shadow branches in Zhang and Zhou had become the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce's territory. The Wei nation was unexpectedly unyielding and was still holding on until now. There were no rumors about the 2 of them leaving. After all, it was common for Yuanying cultivators to go into seclusion for decades. It had only been 10 years since he had appeared, so no one would suspect anything. Wang Daoyuan controlled the panoramic perception avatar, Grey Peng, to let him fly to Clear Glass City to report. The gray rock arrived above Clear Glass City and transformed into a gray-robed cultivator. However, his face was rather ferocious. His aquiline nose covered his mouth and his eyes flashed with a cold light. He went straight to the imperial study. The Wang family was familiar with him and did not stop him. Seeing him enter, Wang Mingchen asked, "Uncle Grey Peng, did you find anything?" Grey Peng scanned the surroundings. Wang Mingchen immediately understood and let the others leave. Only Wang Mingchen and Wang Daochang were left in the imperial study. From the doppelganger's memories, he knew that the 12th uncle had already broken through to the Yuanying realm. Not long ago, he went to the Archaic Mysteries sect to borrow the Heavenly Mystery Pagoda to deduce the overturned sea art. Although the Wang family's overturned sea art was not weak among the golden core cultivation techniques, there was no follow-up content. The 12th uncle mainly cultivated the overturned sea art. It was not suitable for him to change cultivation techniques after reaching the Yuanying realm. Grey Peng said, "Mingchen, 3rd brother, I'm back. I'm now at Zijin River." Wang Mingchen was stunned. "Father, since you're back, why didn't you come directly?" "I've already broken through to the Soul Formation realm. I've also found a place to settle down at the Qixing Si Xiaoxian community." Hearing this, the 2 of them were very happy. Wang Daocheng quickly asked, So, our Wang family can leave Qixing Sea and go to the Sea of Seven Stars to establish a family branch? Of course. The place I've found is called the Earth Flame Archipelago. There are 6 islands with a radius of more than 1,000 miles. Each island has a level 6 spirit vein and a volcano. Even the worst island can accommodate millions of people. There are also more than 20 small islands with a radius of a few hundred miles. They also have level 5 spirit veins. Although they are not suitable for ordinary family members, they can still be accommodated for cultivators. The next time we go to the Sea of Seven Stars, we can bring some family members there and establish the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce there. Wang Mingchen was also very excited. In this way, the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce will be able to occupy a place in the Sea of Seven Stars in a few years. It's a pity that the 2 cultivation worlds are too far apart. It's not easy to communicate. Otherwise, we can connect the 2 cultivation worlds. The trade between the 2 immortal cultivation worlds is extremely profitable. Don't worry. When I went back and forth to the Qixing Sea Xiuxian community, I asked my clone to record the situation of the islands along the way. As long as the time is right, we can set up transit stations and communication arrays on these islands. With my current cultivation, I have no opponents in Qixing Sea. It's time to deal with the demon race. This time, I came back to deal with the demon race in Qixing Sea. I won't show up now to lure the demon race to attack our Yen kingdom. As long as a level 5 demon race attacks, I'll use the excuse that the demon race violated the agreement and kill all demons above level 5. From then on, there will be no demon race in Qixing Sea that can threaten the survival of the human race. Only by eliminating all the demon race can we ensure the safety of the border area of the Arctic ice field and the transit station can be safe. Wang Mingchen asked, Father, what should we do then? Find someone from the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce and spread the news in the Wanchuan market. Say that your mother and I have left Qixing Sea. Travel to other places and look for an opportunity to break through to the semi-god realm. After the news is spread, send someone to Shanbei and Linhai. These 2 places are close to the demon race's territory. As long as the news is spread widely enough, the demon race will definitely get the news. There will always be guys who can't stand being lonely. When the time comes, you will make some moves to shrink the defense industry to give the demon race some courage. If the demon race gains an advantage, they will definitely do worse. As long as a level 5 demon dares to attack, we will have an excuse to wipe out the demon race. Wang Mingchen nodded. I will arrange for my trusted subordinates hidden in the Chamber of Commerce to spread the news. Don't be too anxious. Release the news slowly and lure the demon race to attack. Third brother, you have been in charge of the family for many years. Check for Mingchen. Wang Daocheng smiled and said, 7th brother, don't worry. This is my duty. You can make the arrangements. I will stay in Zijinchuan for a while. Then he controlled his avatar, the Grey Rock, to leave Qingli City and continue to patrol the territory of the Yen Kingdom. Wang Mingchen took out a communication jade token from his interspatial ring. After sending a message, he put it away. In the Wanchuan market, a cultivator who looked like a manager at the dock took out a jade token, looked at it, and put it away. Then, he returned to a small house beside the dock and called over a burly man dressed as an itinerant cultivator. After saying a few words, the burly man left the house. The Wanchuan market was located at the center of the east-west traffic. The dock was very lively. There were many cultivators who made a living along the Wanchuan River. Usually, they would form evil sects at the dock. Therefore, there were many tea houses and restaurants here. This itinerant cultivator strolled in front of a few tea houses. When he saw an acquaintance, he went up to him. This acquaintance of his was wearing a brocade robe. It seemed that he was rich. The burly man went up to him. Shopkeeper Zhang, where have you been making a fortune recently? After saying that, he sat down at the table, poured himself a cup of tea, and drank it in one gulp. The man in the brocade robe chuckled. Gu Dao Yu, we meet again. You've always been well informed. This time, you're freeloading my tea. Do you have any news? The burly man patted his chest and said, When have I ever freeloaded? I have a life and death friend who has a position in the Chamber of Commerce. He manages a flying ship. This flying ship usually travels between the Wanchuan market and Linhai Prefecture to transport all kinds of goods. According to him, about 4 or 5 years ago, when he was passing through the Wanchuan River Valley, he encountered a 4th-rank demonic beast. Suddenly, a sword light fell from the sky and killed the demonic beast. Then, a strange ship that was flying extremely fast headed east. That brother of mine is also someone who has seen the world. He has seen flying warships and battles between golden core cultivators. However, the power of that sword light was not something that a golden core cultivator could compare to. There was also that strange ship. Even the gray rock raised by the retired emperor couldn't compare to it. Later, he guessed that the retired emperor might have gone out to sea again to find an opportunity to break through. After all, the retired emperor broke through to the Yuanying realm by going out to sea to find treasures. Now, he has already cultivated to the peak of the Yuanying realm. It is very likely that he went out to find an opportunity to break through to the soul formation realm. Head shopkeeper Zhang. This news is worth a pot of tea, right? The brocade-robed man waved his hand and said, After talking for so long, it is all speculation. There is no actual evidence at all. You should be content with a small cup of tea. After saying that, he picked up the teapot and poured a cup of tea for him. The burly man picked up the teacup and drank it in one gulp. Thank you, head shopkeeper Zhang. However, you must not spread this news. After all, it involves the higher-ups. If something happens, our small bodies won't be able to handle it. The brocade-robed man was a bit impatient. Go away. Don't you know me? I have always been tight-lipped. A day later, the news that Wang Daoyuan left Beiyuan Xueqi and went overseas to find an opportunity to break through to the soul formation realm spread throughout the entire Wanchuan market. Of course, not many people believed this news. After all, Yuanying cultivators were elusive. Rumors spread by low-level cultivators were not very credible. At most, they would be used as idle gossip. At this time, Wang Mingchen gave a final blow. He ordered the guardian of Wanchuan market to strictly prohibit such rumors from spreading. Those who violated the rules would be severely punished. After the order was issued, no one dared to speak in Wanchuan market. However, people could move around. Especially in the main markets of the Yen Kingdom, there were flying boats going to and fro. They could transport goods and people. A few days later, similar rumors began to spread in some of the larger markets in the north of the mountain and in Linhai Prefecture. The Yen Kingdom's imperial court ordered the guardian of each market to strictly prohibit cultivators from spreading the news. This time, the rumors were not only spread in the markets. Cultivators who went out to hunt monsters and collect spiritual herbs also spread the rumors. Gradually, the news reached the ears of the demonic beasts. In an ice palace deep in the Arctic ice plains, a few 5th-level monsters gathered together. One of them, a man with 2 dragon horns on his head, asked, Have you heard that Wang Daoyuan left Beiyuan Xueqi to find an opportunity to break through? A very strong man answered, I heard it from the juniors below, but we can't prove it. Another man with 2 beast ears smiled and said, Without Wang Daoyuan, no one in the human race can threaten us. The last time he left, it took him decades to return. Do you want to take the opportunity to attack the Yen Kingdom and cripple the entire human race, so that Beiyuan Xueqi will become our territory again? Chapter 1024. The man with dragon horns shook his head. With our strength, we can deal with the human forces on the surface. We've been asking about Wang Daoyuan all these years. This person always likes to leave some cards up his sleeves. Even if he really leaves, he should have left a lot of backup plans in the Yen Kingdom. If we attack rashly, the casualties will definitely not be small. If he doesn't leave, the 3 of us together are no match for him. The man with beast ears asked, So we're just going to wait? What else can we do? Why don't the Snow Bear clan take action? The blood of the Dragon clan can't be shed for nothing. The burly man also said, The Black Tortoise clan's bloodline is rare. We can't afford to be tortured. Even if Wang Daoyuan leaves, I won't do anything. The man with dragon horn smiled and said, That's right. What happens to the human race has nothing to do with us. No one knows how vast the icy plains are to the north and east. No matter how powerful the human race is, they can't threaten our survival. Especially the Snow Bear clan, which lives in the depths of the icy plains. If we're not worried, what are you worried about? But it's hard to say about the Heavenly/Mountain Range. That place is suitable for humans to live. Once Wang Daoyuan broke through to the soul formation realm, would he still leave a way out for them? The demons of the Heavenly/Mountain Range are anxious about this matter. We'll just watch the show. If the demons of the heavenly/mountain range gain an advantage, we'll take advantage of the situation and seize some territory. If the demons of the heavenly/mountain range are crippled, we won't stand out. The three demon kings quickly reached an agreement. They would not get involved in this matter first and wait for the demons of the heavenly/mountain range. Not only were the demons of the icy plains cowering, but the demons of the heavenly/mountain range were also very cowardly. After rumors spread everywhere for more than a month, the demons did not make any moves. The Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce's businesses were distributed too widely. Many of them were adjacent to places with more demons. It was a common occurrence for small groups of demons or individual rank 4 demons to attack industries. However, in the past month, the attacks had completely disappeared. It was unknown if the demons did not dare to attack rashly because they did not know the situation, or if they wanted to shrink their forces and attack with all their might. Wang Mingchen didn't make any big moves. He just quietly called back the Wang family disciples who were training in the remote areas. Now that there were more and more cultivators in the Wang clan, if a cultivator without a direct golden core elder wanted to stand out, he or she had to be extremely talented. Regardless of whether it was cultivation talent or talent in the various arts of cultivation, as long as one was strong enough, one would be able to receive the full support of the clan. However, the Wang clan now had very high requirements for cultivation talent. One had to have at least 3 spiritual roots and a primary spiritual root that was more than 7 inches in order to receive additional training. Those with 3 spiritual roots below 7 inches were not much different from cultivators with less talent. They had to rely on their own efforts to obtain sufficient resources. After all, cultivators with good talent were in the minority. Most of the clansmen with poor talent could only rely on hard work. Therefore, a large number of Wang clan members with average cultivation talent flocked to the Myriad Rivers Chamber of Commerce. He wanted to make some achievements, get a good job in the Chamber of Commerce, and get enough cultivation resources. Moreover, the Wang clan didn't just focus on cultivation talent and the 100 arts of cultivation. He also had the ability to do business and deal with affairs. Although not everyone could have these abilities, as long as they weren't too stupid and had enough experience, their abilities wouldn't be too bad. As long as they could train in this aspect, there was still a possibility of entering the upper echelons of the clan. In order to train and display their abilities, it was best to work in the various remote industries. Over the years, there were Wang clan disciples in various remote industries. To a large force, such a disciple's value was extremely high. Wang Daoyuan and Wang Mingchen's intention was to sacrifice some industries to lure the demons to make a move. It didn't matter if the industries were destroyed, they could be rebuilt in a few years. If the itinerant cultivators recruited by the Chamber of Commerce died, they could just give them more compensation. Later on they could recruit more. Every time an outstanding disciple died, it would be a huge loss to the clan. Because there were too many family disciples working in the various industries, it was naturally impossible for such a large number of people to be mobilized without any news. After 2 to 3 months, the various industries of the Chamber of Commerce spread the news that the Wang clan had withdrawn their defenses. Once this news was out, more and more people believed that Wang Daoyuan had really left. Soon, the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce's mine in the east of the Qi Kingdom was besieged by more than 10 level 3 demons. Although there was only one Zifu realm cultivator overseeing this mine, it had a relatively powerful defensive array formation. The demons couldn't take down the mine in a short time, and the Qi Kingdom also followed the agreement with the Yan Kingdom and sent people to chase the demons away. This test was a fuse. Since then, the Wang clan's industries in the sky/mountain range had been besieged by the demons many times. However, when the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce had just established these industries, they had already made sufficient preparations. Every industry was protected by a sufficiently powerful defensive array formation, and the demons wouldn't be able to break through in a short time. The nearby countries also had an agreement with the Yan Kingdom, so they didn't dare to not help. After all, Wang Daoyuan had gone out to look for an opportunity to break through. Back then, he had broken through and returned after going out at the peak of the Golden Core Realm. Now that Yuanying had gone out at the peak of the Golden Core Realm, the chances of him returning alive were higher. If they dared to break the agreement with the Yan Kingdom, Wang Daoyuan would definitely take care of them and the demons when he returned. With the help of these countries, the industries that had been attacked by the demons didn't suffer much damage. At most, they would temporarily stop production, move the low-level cultivators to a safe place, and leave a few powerful cultivators to guard the territory. The Yan Kingdom didn't make any big moves. They just expressed their gratitude to the countries that had helped. Then, they sent the Grey Rock to patrol and intimidate the demons. However, the demons weren't intimidated, and they started to become more aggressive. They were no longer satisfied with harassing the industries far away from the Yen Kingdom. Instead, they targeted Linhai State and Serene South County. For the Wang clan, this situation was better. In Linhai State and Serene South County, the Wang clan focused on many industries. Even if the demons sent out 5th-level demons, it would be difficult for them to play any tricks. Most importantly, these places weren't far from Qingli City, and there were 5th-level puppets hidden in some places. The demons' probing attacks on Serene South County and Linhai State didn't work. The Wang clan continued to pretend to be weak, but they did their best to protect their industries. In the palace deep in the Arctic icy plains, the 3 demon monarchs gathered again. Snow Bear asked, "We listened to Ice Flood Dragon and didn't attack the Yen Kingdom directly. Now the demons at the Heaven/Mountain Range have probed many times, but the Yen Kingdom still hasn't made much of a move. It seems that Wang Daoyuan has indeed left Beiyuan Xiuxian. What should we do next? Should we attack the Yen Kingdom directly or continue to bide our time?" The burly man smiled and said, "Since the demons of the Heaven/Mountain Range are anxious, there's no need for us to be anxious. So far, the demons of the Heaven/Mountain Range have only sent 3rd-level and 4th-level demons. It only made some of the industries of the Myriad Rivers Chamber of Commerce unable to operate normally, but it didn't cause any substantial damage. The Yen Kingdom hasn't sent out any Yuanying forces either. It's still far from a war. We definitely won't attack until the 5th-level combatants on both sides are dead." Ice Flood Dragon nodded. "Great Demon Monarch Mystic Ice is right. We're not in a hurry. Let's wait and see the commotion between the demons of the Heaven/Mountain Range and the Yen Kingdom. We'll attack when the outcome is decided. However, we still need to make some preparations. No matter what the outcome of the war is, we can't be at a disadvantage. If the Yen Kingdom is weak, we'll cooperate with the demons of the Heaven/Mountain Range to attack the Yen Kingdom. If the Yen Kingdom has the upper hand, we'll take the opportunity to occupy the east of the Heaven/Mountain Range. As long as we don't attack first, we won't be at a disadvantage no matter what the outcome is." The 3 great demon monarchs of the Arctic icefield reached a consensus. The demons of the entire icefield began to make preparations. Wang Daoyuan and Zhoulwan settled down in the Zijinchuan branch. Zhoulwan stayed in the Soul Pearl space and flipped through various books in the Valley of Beasts. Wang Daoyuan used his avatar to observe the movements of the demons in various places. At this moment, Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian were traveling in the northern part of Serene South County. Ever since the demons started to cause trouble, Wang Mingchen had sent them a message and asked them to return as soon as possible. However, the 2 of them were a little wild from traveling outside. In addition, they had some means of self-protection, so they traveled east slowly. It had been a few months, but they had just arrived in the northern part of Serene South County. Serene South County was located in the Heaven/Mountain Range. The southernmost part was Mount Huiyen, the easternmost part was the main mountain range, and the northernmost part was the boundary between humans and demons of the Arctic icefield. This place was where the Yen Kingdom and the 2 demon clans met. The Yen Kingdom's development center had always been in the southern part of Serene South County. It could be said that this place was a barren land with demon beasts often appearing. Wang Mingxian and Wang Mingren were resting in a forest. Wang Mingxian complained, "Big brother is too much. Father and mother went out to sea to find an opportunity to break through. What does that have to do with us? Why did he have to rush us back? We've traveled to many places in the northern part of the mountain range in the past few years, but we didn't see any demons. We wanted to find some suitable spiritual plants for fighting, but we didn't find anything. We've been out for more than 10 years and have a lot of doubts about cultivation. We should go back and ask Ancestor Myriad Spirits. What's more, the 2 of us are completely relying on luck to find spirit herbs. It's better to ask the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce for help. The Chamber of Commerce's influence is spread over half of Beiyuan. Don't be angry. Let's go back with the flying boat. If you want to come out again, we can bring a nest of treasure hunting bees next time." A burst of laughter came. "Your Highness, your brother is right. If you had gone back with the flying boat earlier, we wouldn't have been able to catch you. Little ones, grab them both. Remember, don't hurt them. They're the son and daughter of the most powerful man in Beiyuan. the younger brother and sister of the Yen Emperor. You really look like the Emperor Emeritus and Empress Dowager of the Yen Kingdom. Before he could finish his sentence, the roars of beasts rang out one after another, and the sounds of beasts running could be heard from all directions. A silver long sword appeared in Wang Mingren's hand. The body of the sword was decorated with a white tiger. Wang Mingxian had a gourd hanging on her waist. She stroked the gourd and a dozen vines appeared out of nowhere. She waved her hand and a green light sprinkled down. The vines began to grow crazily. Soul-breaking vine, protect the surroundings. Before she finished speaking, more than a dozen vines began to grow in a circle. The soul-breaking vine entangled the trees in a radius of more than 200 feet. The vines formed a fence with a radius of 200 feet. There were also many vines on the treetops, ready to attack at any time. A group of rank 3 wolf demons rushed over. The leading rank 3 upper-grade wolf demon jumped high and spat out a full moon. Wang Mingren waved the long sword in her hand. A silver light flashed and the full moon was cut in half. The silver light didn't stop and cut the wolf demon. The wolf demon opened its mouth and bit the silver light. Of course it paid a big price. 2 of its fangs were cut off by the silver light. It opened its mouth and was about to howl when it stopped abruptly. A black vine pierced its abdomen and a blood-stained vine stabbed out from its back. The wolf demon didn't even have time to struggle before it collapsed. Chapter 1025. More than 23rd rank wolf demons quickly surrounded them. These wolves all looked similar and were completely black, somewhat similar to the black cloud wolf. When the wolf pack saw that the 2 of them had dealt with a 3rd rank high-grade wolf demon so easily, they didn't dare to move forward. The voice from before sounded again. You don't even dare to fight against 2 with more than 20 of you. What's the use of having you? All of you attack together. I don't believe they can block all of us. Under his command, more than 20 wolf demons simultaneously jumped up from all directions, wanting to jump over the fence made of vines. Wang Mingren's face was full of disdain. Half each. The east side is mine and the west side is yours. Before he finished speaking, 12 dazzling silver lights soared into the sky. After rising to a height of more than 300 meters, the silver lights converged and turned into 12 illusory long swords. Each long sword slashed at a wolf demon's neck. Wang Mingxian's side was even more relaxed. Dozens of vines stretched out and attacked the wolf demons. This time, the demon who could talk became anxious. He didn't expect that 2 middle-stage Zifu realm cultivators would have the means to kill more than 20 wolves at the same time. A large full moon fell from the sky, wanting to smash the 2 to death. As long as the person who cast the spell died, the spell would be broken. At this moment, a large pitch-black dog appeared out of thin air, opened its mouth, and swallowed the full moon. Then its figure changed and turned into a muscular man wearing a black leather robe. This muscular man was Big Black. At this moment, less than 10 of the 20 wolf demons dodged the attack in the air and fled far away. The other wolves were all killed. Big Black landed on the ground and looked at the sky. It chuckled. Dao Yu bullying others with numbers is one thing, but a 4th-rank middle-grade demon actually dares to bully Zifu Realm Juniors. You're really shameless. At this moment, a black wolf that was more than 5 meters long descended from the sky. He shouted angrily at Big Black, "You're also a demon and a dog-type demon beast. You can be considered a close relative of my wolf clan. Why are you helping humans to kill fellow demons?" Big Black's face was full of disdain. "When I was young, I was just an ordinary puppy. I barely survived because my old master adopted me. If it wasn't for the second young master, I would have become a 1st-rank spirit beast at most and died of old age. But second young master gave me a large amount of cultivation resources, allowing me to cultivate to this day. The demon clan did not do me any favors. Master's family allowed me to grow from a dying puppy to where I am today. Who do you think I should help? Let's cut the crap. After dealing with you, I still have to escort the 2 children home." After saying that, it opened its mouth and tried to swallow the black wolf directly into its stomach. This black wolf was not weak. If Dahe played hard, it would not be able to swallow him. The black wolf spat out 2 large full moons in a row, but this spell was nothing in front of Dahe. It was directly swallowed into his stomach without even leaving a sound. When He Lang saw that his ultimate skill was completely restrained, he didn't dare to continue fighting. His body was wrapped in a layer of silver light, and he was about to escape. Dahe spat out 3 full moons in a row, which was the devouring spell. He Lang blocked with all his might, but he was only able to block 2 of them. The third one hit his head. He Lang was also thick-skinned. His head was seriously injured, but he just fainted. Wang Mingren was about to kill him with his sword, but Da He said, "Don't worry, Mingren. This black wolf is not ordinary. It seems that he has the bloodline of a high-level demonic beast. Take him back. He may be of great use." Wang Mingren nodded, took out a demon-subduing gourd, and put He Lang into it. Da He looked at the gourd and said with a smile, "If I had known you had this thing, I wouldn't have had to do it. Mingxian, don't be so stubborn. Mingchen wants you to go back as soon as possible for your own good. I received a message before that this period of time is not peaceful. The news that your father and mother went to sea was leaked. In recent months, the industries of the Wanchuan Chamber of Commerce have been attacked hundreds of times. The demon clan sent a group of demonic beasts to deal with you too. They must have targeted you. If they send another 5th-level demonic beast, no matter how many means we have, we can't escape death." Then he took out a flying boat. Wang Mingxian did not delay any longer. The 3 of them took the flying boat and headed southwest. This flying boat was a 3rd-level flying boat. It could fly 5,000 to 6,000 miles in 2 hours. A day later, the flying boat arrived near Serene South City. At this time, the formation of Serene South City had been opened. There were no traces of cultivators outside the city. Instead, there were many 3rd-level demonic beasts. Da He did not dare to stay nearby and continued to drive the flying boat to the Jade Spring Peak in the southeast direction. At this time, a sharp voice came from the sky. "After waiting near Serene South City for more than half a month, I finally didn't waste my time. I really met a big fish. Looking at the appearance of these 2 little guys, they should be Wang Daoyuan's children. As long as I catch the 2 of you, Wang Mingchen will have to hold back." Then a claw shadow that blotted out the sky fell from the sky. At this time, Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian were suppressed by the powerful momentum and could not move. Da He wanted to cast a spell to resist the claw shadow, but it was suppressed by the force and could not use its spiritual power. The claw shadow fell, but it did not smash the flying boat. Instead, it dragged it up. At this time, a water blue light flashed, and the claw shadow was scattered. There was a sharp wail in the sky, and the previous momentum disappeared in an instant. Then, a huge white-feathered chicken with a wingspan of more than 100 feet appeared and shouted angrily, "Who dares to sneak attack me?" This white-feathered chicken had dealt with Wang Daoyuan before. When the red-feathered crow broke through the 5th-level tribulation, this guy came to make trouble. In the end, it was injured by Wang Daoyuan and escaped into the 9 heavens astral wind layer. It was only because its grandfather saved it that it escaped. Later, its grandfather fought with Wang Daoyuan in the north of the mountain and was killed directly. This white-feathered chicken never showed up again. A cultivator in a white robe appeared out of thin air, holding a black jade cauldron in his hand, and took the flying boat that Da He was on into the cauldron. A chicken can cultivate to the peak of the 5th level. How strange. This was Jia Qi. Wang Daoyuan had asked him to secretly protect Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian. When they encountered danger before, Da He could completely deal with it. Now that the Grand Demon King had attacked, he had to help. *T. Your ancestor has the Phoenix bloodline. A Grand Demon King sneakily attacked 2 Purple Mansion Realm children and a 4th-level mid-grade spirit beast. You've embarrassed the Phoenix clan. You evil creatures attacked the Yen Kingdom's property wantonly. This is breaking the agreement between the 2 races. Aren't you afraid that the Grand Emperor of the Yen Kingdom will punish you? The Grand Demon King of the Heavenly/Mountain Range had already attacked Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian. It was reasonable that Wang Daoyuan appeared now and killed all the demons in the Heavenly/Mountain Range. However, the demons of the Arctic Ice Plains hadn't attacked yet. If they only wiped out the demons of the Heavenly/Mountain Range, the demons of the Arctic Ice Plains would lose their opponents and become a big threat to the human race. It was better to wait for the demons of the Arctic Ice Plains to attack and then stew them in a pot. The white feather chicken laughed like a rooster. If Wang Daoyuan was still in Beiyuan Xiuxian, he would have already taken action when we attacked the Yen Kingdom's property. Now he hasn't done anything. It seems that the rumor is true. He went to sea to find an opportunity to break through to the Soul Formation realm. The last time he left, it took him dozens of years. He's only been gone for a few years now. By the time he returns, We'll have already flattened the northern abyss immortal realm. Xueqi said disdainfully, I can easily deal with you, white feather chicken. There's no need for the Grand Emperor to do it himself. Don't leave if you have the guts. I'll go back and send the 2 children back to Qingli City first. When I come back, I'll fight with you. The white feather chicken was furious. You don't take me seriously. If it weren't for the 2 children, I would have used you to make chicken soup today. The white feather chicken flapped its wings and 2 gusts of wind came. Xueqi turned into a beam of golden light and dodged the attack. He also threw out 2 Gui water divine thunder. The white feather chicken didn't dare to be careless. A gust of wind surged around its body and condensed into 2 shields to block the Gui water divine thunder. Unexpectedly, the Gui water divine thunder penetrated the shields and hit its wings. The white feather chicken reacted fast enough and dodged in time. The Gui water divine thunder only destroyed a few long feathers and left some wounds on its wings. Although it wasn't seriously injured, the white feather chicken was still frightened. The demons had few tricks. They had never seen a trick that could penetrate defensive spells. Wang Daoyuan, who was using Xueqi's panoramic perception clone, also shook his head secretly. The 5th rank beasts in Beiyuan were much weaker than those of the same rank in Qixingxi Xiuxian community. After all, there were too many 5th rank beasts. It was inevitable that they would fight with each other. Many Yuanian cultivators made a living by hunting 5th rank beasts. Gradually, the 5th rank beasts' strength increased. On the other hand, 5th rank beasts were rare in Beiyuan. Each of them could be called an ancestor. There were very few opportunities to fight. Naturally, their strength was not enough. Xueqi laughed. With your little ability, you can't keep me here. Get out of here. The white feather chicken's strength was in its speed. When it was a 5th rank upper rank beast, the red-winged crow that had just finished its tribulation could entangle it for a long time. Xueqi had learned most of Wang Daoyuan's spells. His techniques were the same as Wang Daoyuan's. Bullying a 5th rank peak level white feather chicken didn't take much effort. The white feather chicken didn't dare to pester him anymore. You can leave, but you can't leave Serene South City. I'd like to see how long the city's formation can resist me. Xueqi didn't care about it. He took the flying boat and flew southwest. The white feather chicken was furious. It flew above Serene South City. Just as it was about to attack the city's defensive formation, a silver light flew out from the city. The white feather chicken used its escaping ability and hurriedly dodged. However, it was still cut by the silver light. Its tail feathers were all cut off. Even the tip of its tail lost a piece of meat. The white feather chicken screamed in pain. It didn't dare to stay here any longer. It fled into the 9 heavens astral wind layer. This was the sword puppet left behind by Wang Daoyuan. After Wang Mingchen merged it with his subsoul, he arranged for it to stay in Serene South City. This sword puppet was a 5th rank upper rank sword puppet, Xueqi. Its strength wasn't inferior to Xueqi's. If it wasn't for the fact that it was afraid of being ganged up on by 5th rank beasts, it could have left the white feather chicken behind. Xueqi returned to Serene South City. The surroundings were peaceful again. Xueqi brought the 2 children and Blackie all the way to the southwest. When they passed by Yuchuan Peak, they found that its spirit vein had been upgraded to 5th rank. This was expected. A few decades ago, Yuchuan Peak's spirit vein had already been upgraded to the peak of 4th rank. It was just that it was too difficult to cross the threshold of 5th rank, which was why it had been delayed until now. Although the formation was still 4th rank, with Lei Yen Zhenren holding the fort, there was no need to worry about the Grand Demon King. The flying boat landed in the palace of Qingli City. Xueqi released Wang Mingren, Wang Mingxian, and Blackie from the Black Jade Cauldron. He brought them to the Imperial Study. Wang Mingchen was relieved to see his brother and sister back. Mingren, Mingxian, you guys are finally back. Serene South City sent a message saying that a Grand Demon King ambushed you guys. Thank you Uncle Jia for saving you. The demon race couldn't break through our Yen Kingdom's important industries and was looking for a breakthrough. The 2 of you are the best breakthrough. You guys can cultivate in the secret room behind the Imperial Study. Don't go out before the demon race is dealt with. After all, an elder brother was like a father. The 2 of them were still a little afraid of Wang Mingchen. In addition, the difference in strength was too great. They could only cultivate in the Imperial Study. Chapter 1026. Wang Mingren and Wang Mingxian went to the cultivation room behind the imperial study. Wang Mingchen asked, "Father, now that the great demon king of the Heaven/Mountain Range has made a move, should we make a move?" "Don't worry. If we take care of the Heaven/Mountain Range's demons now, no one will be able to restrain the demons in the frozen icy plains. If there's no opponent, they'll find another. Only humans can be a match for the demons in the frozen icy plains. At that time, most of the Yen Kingdom's energy will be restrained by the demons, and they won't be able to expand. It's best if we can lure the great demon king of the frozen icy plains to make a move. I'll take the opportunity to capture them all. Then we'll flatten the Heaven/Mountain Range and support some half-demons in the frozen icy plains to suppress the demons." Wang Mingchen nodded. "Father, you're so thoughtful. How should we set up defenses now? The demons don't dare to make a move in Qingli County. But they've already started to attack Serene South County, and Linhai County might become their target. With the Heaven/Mountain Range in between, it won't be easy for us to reinforce Linhai County. Your great-grandfather is guarding there. The black ice tortoise's cultivation has reached superior grade tier 5. It won't be a problem to deal with the great demon king in Linhai County. Shen Jia is also there. Shen Jia's Sword Intent Foundation isn't the Beiyuan Sword Intent, but after many years of training, his strength is comparable to a great demon king. With them there, Linhai County doesn't need any reinforcements. If the demons really invade, Jia Qi's avatar can also go there. I know a little about the abilities of the great demon kings in the Heaven/Mountain Range. They're not Jia Qi's match. I've subdued another expert in the Sea of 7 Stars. If he can't hold on, I'll send him over." Wang Daoyuan was naturally referring to Spirited Flame. This guy was already at tier 6 and was much stronger than those great demon kings. Although he was inexperienced, his strength was there. Beating a great demon king wasn't a problem at all. Jia Qi instructed Wang Mingchen on a few more matters before concealing himself and leaving Clear Glass City. The demons in the Heaven/Mountain Range focused their attacks on the Yen Kingdom's hinterland. They didn't need to care about other places. The Grey Rocks Patrol was limited to Serene South County and Qingli County. Jia Qi didn't run too far. He just quietly came to the vicinity of the oasis. Over the years, the Wang family had been constantly migrating ordinary clansmen to this place. There were already close to 1 million clansmen by the 100 Rivers Lake, second only to the Wang family's traditional territory east of Qingli River and north of Qingxi. If the demons were to cause trouble here, there would definitely be a lot of casualties. More than 1,000 miles away from the coast of Linhai Prefecture, there was a city with a radius of 30 miles. This was Linhai City, and the prefecture overseer manor was also in the city. In the past, as the main city of Linhai Prefecture, Linhai City was bustling with life. Now, everyone knew that the demon clan wanted to attack the Yen Kingdom. Most of the rogue cultivators in Linhai State had already fled to the west of Heaven/Mountain Range. A small number of rogue cultivators already had some businesses in Linhai Prefecture and were unwilling to give them up. On top of that, the Wang clan was powerful enough. As long as they stayed in the city, they wouldn't have to worry about losing their lives. After all, they had been able to force the demon race to seek peace decades ago. Now, they would not be completely defeated by the demon race. There weren't many people outside Linhai City, and the city had already been cleared. Apart from the city guards, no one was allowed to go on the streets. The defensive formation had also been activated. There was a rank 5 spirit vein under Linhai City, which was a remnant vein of Heaven/Mountain Range. Therefore, the defensive formation of Linhai City was also rank 5. With this defensive formation, even a Grand Demon King wouldn't be able to do anything to Linhai City in a short period of time. Although the atmosphere in Linhai City was tense, nothing major happened. However, in the past month, there were traces of rank 4 demonic beasts in the river near Linhai City. These fellows were sneaky and only observed Linhai City from afar. Although they didn't attack the city directly, Linhai City was still prepared for a big battle. When the White Feather Chicken attacked Serene South City, there were more demonic beasts near Linhai City. Many demonic beasts even dared to approach the city walls to observe, as though a storm was about to come. Wang Jian was even more spirited. He ordered the family disciples to guard the various formation corps while he personally took charge of the core formation corps. Half of the city guards stayed on the city walls while the rest patrolled the streets to prevent rogue cultivators from causing trouble. More and more demonic beasts gathered outside the city. Soon, an upper-grade rank 5 black flood dragon jumped out of Wanchuan River. The flood dragon opened its mouth and spat out water arrows. These water arrows didn't seem to have any power, and the spirit energy fluctuations were also very weak. However, when they landed on Linhai City's defensive formation, there was a series of rumbling sounds. The defensive light barrier was also constantly shaking. An upper-grade rank 5 defensive formation was always lacking when facing an upper-grade rank 5 demonic beast. However, it was not an easy task to break through the formation. At this moment, rank 4 demonic beasts were constantly appearing near Wanchuan River and the seaside. They approached Linhai City and attacked the defensive formation. Of course, Linhai City's defensive formation wasn't to be trifled with. It was difficult to break it in a short period of time. However, it wasn't a solution to continue like this. Who knew how many demonic beasts would participate in this matter? Wang Daoyuan's clone, the mystic ice tortoise, was currently hiding at the bottom of the Wanchuan River estuary. Using his divine sense to sense the demonic beasts outside, Wang Daoyuan was in a good mood. I originally only wanted to scam the Heaven/Mountain Range and the extreme frost ice plains. I didn't expect the East Sea demonic beasts to join in the fun. Just nice. I'll scoop up these demonic beasts. When I break through to the Mahayana realm, I'll sweep the West Sea. The entire Beiyuan Xueqi will be impregnable. He then controlled the mystic ice tortoise to use sneak attacks. A cold wind started to blow around Linhai City, and it was getting stronger and stronger. The surrounding rivers started to freeze and some rank 4 demonic beasts even started to tremble. However, the cultivators in Linhai City didn't feel any discomfort at all. A moment later, dark clouds covered the sky and hailstones fell from the clouds. Rather than hailstones, it was more like icicles and spikes. Like before, Linhai City wasn't affected at all. The black flood dragon immediately felt that something was wrong. However, the mystic ice tortoise was hiding at the bottom of the sea and he really couldn't find it. He raised his head and spat out a giant water ball in an attempt to break the mystic ice tortoise's spell. In the end, the water ball turned into an ice ball and smashed down once more. The black flood dragon's ability was to control water, but he couldn't control ice. When their cultivations were about the same, the ice element was even more effective against the water element than the earth element. Moreover, the mystic ice tortoise wasn't an ordinary rank 5 half-divine beast. It was controlled by Wang Daoyuan, a soul formation cultivator. Although he couldn't directly use the mystic ice tortoise's body to unleash the power of a soul formation cultivator. However, his control over the laws and spiritual power wasn't something a rank 5 demonic beast could compare to. Otherwise, the spell cast by the mystic ice tortoise wouldn't be so powerful. The black flood dragon hurriedly dodged the ice ball and used his water spiritual power to protect himself. The large-scale spell cast by the mystic ice tortoise had limited destructive power against a single powerful individual. He could withstand the icicles falling from the sky, but those rank 4 demonic beasts couldn't. A rank 5 half-divine beast sneeze could shake a rank 4 demonic beast half to death, let alone casting a spell. Rank 4 demonic beasts would be seriously injured if they were hit by an icicle. Soon, dozens of demonic beasts outside the city were killed. The black flood dragon shouted, "Retreat to the sea!" The rank 4 demonic beasts felt as if they had been pardoned. They used all their skills to escape from Waterfront City. This kind of large-scale spell consumed a lot of spiritual power, and the mystic ice tortoise couldn't maintain it for long. After the demonic beasts retreated, he immediately stopped the spell and quietly hid at the bottom of the river. Turtle-type demonic beasts were all experts in hiding their auras. The black flood dragon searched the coastal waters for a long time but didn't find any clues. He could only leave resentfully. Even if he found the mystic ice tortoise, it wasn't a big deal. It was just exposing the existence of the rank 5 sword puppet mystic armor. At that time, he wouldn't be able to leave. The black flood dragon retreated with many demonic beasts. Waterfront City didn't suffer any substantial losses. A portion of the city guards left the city and collected the corpses of the dozens of demonic beasts outside the city. A rank 4 demonic beast's corpse could be sold for millions of low-grade spirit stones. Dozens of demonic beasts were also a considerable amount of wealth. Originally, the human race and the East Sea demonic beasts didn't have much conflict. He really didn't know why these idiots wanted to get involved. After suffering a loss in Waterfront City, the next few days were peaceful. In the entire Yen country, no demonic beasts attacked again. However, everyone knew that under the peaceful situation, there were undercurrents surging. In order to act more realistic, Wang Mingchen asked for help from the Divine Weapon Pavilion, the Tai Sword Sect, and the Archaic Mysteries Sect. As for the Wind Snow God Palace, he was afraid that he would still need help. After all, they were at the edge of the Arctic ice plains. Once the demonic beasts of the Arctic ice plains made a move, the Wind Snow God Palace wouldn't have a good time. When the Yen country started to ask for help, the demonic beasts didn't stay idle either. In the Hidden Dragon Mountain area at the northernmost end of the Sky/Mountain Range, the battle between the two demonic beasts had already stopped. However, the Hidden Dragon Mountain didn't calm down. There were demonic beasts constantly coming and going. At first, only rank 4 demonic beasts came from the Sky/Mountain Range to the Arctic ice plains. Later, many rank 5 demonic beasts came and went. After a few days, a fire phoenix flew out of the Sky/Mountain Range and came to a cave at the northernmost end of the Hidden Dragon Mountain. At the eastern edge of the Mirage Fog Sea, a black flood dragon rose into the sky and flew to a cave at the northernmost end of the Hidden Dragon Mountain. At this time, the 4 demonic beast kings were gathered in the cave of the Hidden Dragon Mountain. The fire phoenix looked at the ice flood dragon and snow bear. The black tortoise bloodline has an extremely high status among the demonic beasts of the Arctic ice plains. If he's not here, will your words count? The ice flood dragon smiled and said, "Of course. Black Ice's descendants have withered, and he's unwilling to send his descendants to participate in the battle. As long as Snow Bear and I agree, we can mobilize the subordinate demonic beasts of the black tortoise bloodline." I had expected the Flame Phoenix Greater Fiend Monarch to take action. However, I don't understand. The Black Flood Dragon bloodline has been living in the depths of the East Sea for a long time. No matter how arrogant the humans are, they can't occupy the entire East Sea. Why are you involved in this matter? The Black Flood Dragon snorted. Although the East Sea is vast and boundless, its spiritual power is far inferior to that of the Sky/Mountain Range. Once the demonic beasts of the Sky/Mountain Range are destroyed by the humans, the East Sea demonic beasts will have to flee. Without rank 5 spirit chi, I'm afraid I can't even maintain my current cultivation level. My descendants won't be able to break through to rank 5 either. We are all over 10,000 years old and have been struggling at death's door for so many years. We don't have much time left. We can only hope to nurture some outstanding descendants. For the future of our descendants, I have to fight. The Ice Flood Dragon nodded. Brother Black Flood Dragon's choice is very correct. If the East Sea demonic beasts retreat, they won't have another chance in the future. However, we don't have to risk our lives. The Extreme Zero Ice Plains is vast and boundless. Even places far away from the Sky/Mountain Range have many high-grade spirit veins. No matter how powerful Wang Daoyuan is, can he let the humans occupy the Extreme Zero Ice Plains? The Fire Phoenix sneered. The humans can't live in the depths of the ice plains, but a soul formation cultivator can kill all the rank 5 demonic beasts in the ice plains. He can support some half-demonic beasts who like to live in the ice plains and gradually occupy the Extreme Zero Ice Plains. Although the half-demonic beasts have the strengths of both the humans and demonic beasts, they also have the weaknesses of both races. The upper limit of their cultivation level is too low, so they won't cause much trouble. In the long run, the Extreme Zero Ice Plains will be the half-demonic beasts' territory. Chapter 1027. The Ice Dragon fell into deep thought. He only knew that the frozen ice field was extremely vast. 10,000 years ago, he had gone deep into the frozen ice field many times, but he couldn't find the border. Unlike humans, demons didn't like to record everything. Therefore, he didn't have any records left by his ancestors. He didn't know how big the frozen ice field was. The demons of the frozen ice field had already adapted to the environment. If Wang Daoyuan dared to go deep into the frozen ice field, the demon kings might be able to defeat him. As long as they could defeat Wang Daoyuan, the demons of the frozen ice field would be able to preserve their vitality. No matter how powerful a peak-stage Yuanian cultivator was, he would turn into a pile of dirt in 2,000 years at most. After he died, it was not impossible for the demon race to make a comeback. But he had never considered what would happen if Wang Daoyuan really reached the soul formation stage. Although there was only a thin line between the early stage of the soul formation stage and the peak stage of Yuaniing, the difference in strength between the two was like heaven and earth. Unless it was a peerless genius, peak-stage Yuaniing cultivators were like ants in the hands of soul formation cultivators. Wang Daoyuan could kill the Silver Rock Demon King when he was at the mid-stage of Yuaniing. When he reached the peak stage of Yuaniing, no one dared to fight him. If he really reached the soul formation stage, he wouldn't be able to defeat him with the help of the frozen ice field. When that time came, there would really be no way out for him. Seeing that he was silent, the Ice Dragon continued to persuade him. Ice Dragon, this is our last chance. You know what kind of talent Wang Daoyuan has. Greater Demon Monarch Flamephoenix's subordinates had investigated Wang Daoyuan very thoroughly. He is only 400 years old now. At first, the Wang family was only a foundation establishment family. In just 400 years, the Wang family became the most powerful force in Beiyuan. He also became the most powerful overlord in Beiyuan. Do you think he can't reach the soul formation stage with such talent? When he comes back, we will have to face a soul formation cultivator. Wang Daoyuan is no saint. If we demons don't make a move, he won't let us off either. The only way to survive now was to wipe out most of the humans in Beiyuan before he returned. No matter how powerful Wang Daoyuan was, it was impossible for him to kill all the demons without the support of the human race. No matter how powerful he was, there would come a time when he would pass away in meditation. As long as he dies, our demon race will be able to make a comeback. Greater Demon Monarch Flame Phoenix sighed. We can only blame ourselves for only knowing how to fight among ourselves back then. We felt that humans were too weak and not worth risking our lives for. Decades had passed, and the human race had become a huge threat. If they had made up their minds to wipe out the humankind back then, they wouldn't be in such a predicament today. One mistake has already allowed the human race to rise again. If we make another mistake, our demon race will no longer have a chance. Regardless of whether your Ice Plains demon race makes a move or not, our Heaven/Mountain Range demon race will fight to the death. The Black Dragon added, the same goes for the East Sea Monster tribe. The Snow Bear also persuaded the Ice Flood Dragon, Ice Flood Dragon, I think Flame Phoenix and Black Dragon are right. When Wang Daoyuan breaks through to the Soul Formation realm and returns, we will have no chance. Although I don't have the bloodline of a divine beast, I am not willing to submit to the human race. You are a semi-divine beast. Are you willing to be a dog for the human race? Under the persuasion of the three demon monarchs, the Ice Flood Dragon slammed the table. The Ice Plains demon race can participate in this matter, but after we wipe out the human race, we have to take more benefits. Flame Phoenix quickly replied, okay, after we wipe out the human race, the territory north of the Wanchuan River will all belong to the Ice Plains demon race. South of the Wanchuan River, part of it will be given to the Ice Plains demon race. When the time comes, as long as the Ice Plains demon race likes the territory, you can have the first pick. The Black Dragon also expressed that he had no objections. The Ice Flood Dragon smiled and said, since the two of you are so generous, the Ice Plains demon race will also fight for the future of the demon race. The Snow Bear was overjoyed. Both of you have tested the strength of the Yen Kingdom. What do you think we should do next? Flame Phoenix said, in the Sky/Mountain Range, Silver Rock's grandson, Yin Yu, has also become a demon monarch. He ambushed Wang Daoyuan's two children in Serene South City, but he was easily defeated by Jia Qi. After that, he wanted to vent his anger on Serene South City, but his tail was cut off by the sword puppet left behind by Wang Daoyuan. As soon as she said that, the other three demon monarchs couldn't help but laugh. The Snow Bear was even more straightforward. Although Silver Rock died early, his strength is undeniable. What's wrong with his grandson? It's fine if he's weak, but he also looks like a white feathered rooster. Now, he can't even keep his tail. He will be a bald rooster in the future. As a demon monarch, he has embarrassed himself to this extent. Flame Phoenix shook her head. Although Yin Yu's strength is far inferior to his grandfather, he is not inferior to Silver Rock in terms of speed. He is even faster. I have seen Yin Yu's wound. I am not confident that I can take the same attack. He is fast and powerful. This sword puppet's strength is probably above ours. The Black Flood Dragon Demon Monarch continued. My son Xian Lin led a group of rank 4 demons to attack Waterfront City, but they were also defeated. They didn't even see their opponent before they were smashed back by a hail. According to him, the hail had traces of the Black Tortoise bloodline. The Ice Flood Dragon sighed. It should be Xian Bing's youngest son, Xian Yan. Back then, he was captured by Wang Daoyuan. I don't know what method was used to make him follow Wang Daoyuan wholeheartedly. The Black Tortoise bloodline is above my dragon race in terms of controlling water, but in terms of controlling ice, they might not be stronger than me. Xian Yan's cultivation shouldn't be at the demon monarch level, so I can easily suppress him. Waterfront City is near the river and the sea. Xian Bing, Snow Bear, and the Black Flood Dragon can all unleash great strength. Although Flame Phoenix Dao Yu isn't good at fighting near the water, he can intercept the Yen Kingdom's reinforcements. That Jia Qi isn't easy to deal with either. If he goes to Waterfront City and relies on the rank 5 defensive formation, we won't be able to take him down. If he comes to reinforce Waterfront City, the Flame Phoenix Demon Monarch will hold him back and then we will attack together to kill him. Attacking Waterfront City is secondary. The main thing is to kill more Yuanying cultivators. The Flame Phoenix nodded. The Ice Flood Dragon Demon Monarch's idea is good. Let's do it this way. Keep an eye on Waterfront City. If the Yen Kingdom dares to send reinforcements, we will deal with them in the Wanchuan River Valley. The Snow Bear and Black Flood Dragon didn't have any objections and nodded in agreement. The Ice Flood Dragon smiled. In that case, let's go back and gather people. We will attack Waterfront City in a month. Yen Kingdom's Qingli City. After Wang Mingchen requested for reinforcements, the Divine Weapon Pavilion, Tai Sword Sect, and Archaic Mysteries Sect all sent people over. At this moment, 6 Yuanying cultivators were gathered in the Imperial Study of Qingli City. Perfected Lei Yen had been staying at the Jade Spring Mountain. Now, he also came to the Imperial Study for a discussion. When Wang Shui heard that the Yen Kingdom was attacked by demonic beasts, he naturally ran back. Along with him was the Archaic Mysteries Sect's Perfected Shen-Tian, the Divine Weapon Pavilion Sect Master, Perfected Yunhe, and the current Sect Master of the Tai Sword Sect, Perfected Swordless, also rushed over to help. Although they didn't ask for help from the Zhou nation previously, they naturally wouldn't stand by and do nothing now that the relationship between the two countries had reached this stage. The Grand Emperor of the Zhou nation, Perfected Fengyi, personally came with the ancestral phoenix flag. After everyone arrived, Wang Mingchen cupped his hands and said, "Thank you for coming to help, seniors." Perfected Yunhe smiled and said, "There's no need for that. Our 5 families are of the same breath. Back when our spiritual energy had just recovered to stage 5, we relied on your father to resist the demons and buy time for us to cultivate. Now that he's not around, we naturally have to help him guard his home. Brother Xuantian's arrival is within my expectations. With Patriarch Yin Yang protecting him, the Grand Demon Monarch can't hurt him. Disciple Nephew Swordless, why are you here? We are going to deal with the Grand Demon Monarch. Even if you have the Tai Divine Sword, your strength is far inferior to the Grand Demon Monarch's." Perfected Swordless waved his hand and a long sword appeared in his hand. "I didn't want to use a sword, but I have no choice now." At that moment, a clanging sound came from the sword. An old man with white hair and beard appeared from the sword. "Junior, you're really outrageous. Do you think I'll embarrass you by following you?" Perfected Shen-Tian gasped. "Demon-slaying sword ancestor, you're awake?" The white-haired elder glanced at him. "The descendant of Patriarch Yin Yang has good talent. I've met quite a few old friends this time. Brother Yin Yang, Brother Ling Long, and Brother Fiend Refinement are all here. No, Brother Myriad Spirit is here too. Stop hiding. We haven't seen each other in tens of thousands of years. Come out and have a chat." The demon-slaying sword ancestor's main body was the demon-slaying cauldron. It was an heirloom Dharma artifact of the Divine Weapon Pavilion Sect Master. The other artifact spirits came out as well. Patriarch Myriad Spirit looked at the demon-slaying sword ancestor. "How strange. Ever since the demon-slaying Divine Lord passed away, I haven't seen you come out." The demon-slaying sword ancestor sighed. "There's nothing I can do. I'm a sword spirit. If the junior sword cultivation isn't up to par, they can't even touch my body. After tens of thousands of years, I've finally met a sword cultivation genius." Patriarch Yin Yang was curious. "Hasn't the Valley of Beasts been closed for tens of thousands of years? Why is Brother Myriad Spirit here? And you've even acknowledged Emperor Yen as your master." Patriarch Myriad Spirit sighed. "The Valley of Beasts has withered. The only remaining disciples are the Zhou clan. Mingchen's talent is excellent, and he's already inherited the position of Valley of Beasts sect master. Naturally, I'll acknowledge him as my master. Patriarch Yin Yang glanced at Wang Mingchen. Not bad indeed. This kid isn't even 200 years old, and he's already reached peak Jindan. With you protecting him, Yuanying shouldn't be a problem. After a few more years, he'll be able to form his nascent soul. A 200-year-old Yuanying is extremely rare even before the formation of decimating heaven abyss. The weapon spirits chatted for a long time, and the others didn't dare to disturb this group of old ancestors. After a long time, Taoist Master Yunhe said, Mingchen, we're all here to help you. Regardless of seniority, just tell us how to deal with the demons. Wang Mingchen cupped his hands to everyone. Martial granduncles, I've invited you all here to deceive others. We deliberately released the news of Emperor Father and Emperor Mother's departure. Taoist Master Feng Yi was stunned. Child, how dare you take this risk? These old demons are all from 10,000 years ago, and they're not weak. Even if we can win, Yen Kingdom will suffer heavy losses. This is Emperor Father's intention. He's already broken through to soul formation and is now hiding in the Mirage Fog Sea. He wants to use this opportunity to lure out all the great demon kings and deal with them all at once. So that when he goes out in the future, he won't have to worry about a fire in his backyard. Hearing this, everyone was a little shocked. Beiyuan Xiaoxian had only appeared for a few decades, and there were already soul formation cultivators. Taoist Master Xuantian's face was full of joy. With soul formation cultivators, Beiyuan doesn't have to worry about the demons causing trouble anymore. The strength of a soul formation cultivator and a Yuanying cultivator are worlds apart. Any means left behind can make the demons not dare to invade. Mingchen, just tell us what to do. What Emperor Father means is to lure out all the rank 5 demons, and then he will personally take care of them all. At the very least, all the great demon kings must be killed. Previously, the demons have tentatively attacked Shanbei's Serene South City and Linhai City in Linhai State. Emperor Father left behind backup plans in these two places. Previously, when the demons tried to probe, they suffered quite a lot. The next targets of the demons are likely to be these two places. Martial granduncles, rest in Qingli City first. When the demons take action, we'll go over to support them. I just hope that you can restrain your strength and not scare the demons away. Only when the demons see hope of success will they invest more strength and strive to kill all the rank 5 demons in Beiyuan. Chapter 1028. Venerable Windwing sighed, the younger generation will surpass us in time. Since tens of thousands of years ago, the human race has been suppressed by the demon race. For more than 1,000 years, we can only defend against the demon race. Dao Yuan is only 400 years old and already has the ability to deal with the demon race. Venerable Lei Yan said, if everyone has no objections, we'll follow Mingchen's plan and wait here. Yen country's delicacies aren't ordinary, you have to try them. The Yuanying cultivators who came to help stayed in Qingli City. At this time, Qingli City was also forbidden from entering and leaving and had set up a formation to block messages. Other than the imperial study, messages couldn't be sent out from other places. There were also red-feathered crows and gray rocks patrolling nearby, so the demon race couldn't find out what was going on here and weren't afraid of being leaked. 20 days later, traces of demon beasts appeared in Linhai City again. At first, there were only rank 4 demon beasts poking their heads around, but after a few days, the black flood dragon appeared again. The city defense preparations were already done. There were many city guards on the city walls and many high-grade rank 4 crossbows were placed on the city walls. These things weren't a threat to rank 5 demon beasts, but with so many crossbows, it wouldn't take much effort to kill a rank 4 demon beast. When Wang Jian saw the rank 5 demon beast appear, he immediately sent a message to Qingli City. After receiving the message, Wang Mingchen immediately gathered all the Yuanying cultivators. When everyone was present, Wang Mingchen cupped his hands and said, Martial granduncles, the demon race has attacked Linhai City. Now there's only a rank 5 black flood dragon and a group of rank 4 demon beasts from the East Sea. These guys can't cause too much pressure to Linhai City's defense. They should just be a means to lure out the black ice tortoise and sword puppet. The demon race is likely to attack there. We should prepare to go to Linhai City to help. Previously, there were rank 4 demon beasts harassing Yunnan City, so we can't rule out the possibility of the demon race attacking Yunnan City. Venerable Lei Yan asked, how should we distribute the manpower? Wang Mingchen answered, there's me and myriad spirit ancestor in Qingli City, we can block a few demon kings. Yunnan County doesn't have a rank 5 formation protection, so it's easy to break through. It would be difficult to defend for too long with just one sword puppet. Without the support of a grade 5 formation, this place might be even more dangerous than Waterfront City. Therefore, there must be 2 experts who can defeat the Grand Demon King and stay in the north of Qingli County to support Yunnan City at any time. The 10,000 Spirits Pagoda had many Grand Cultivators and was built by Earth Immortals and Grand Cultivators together. In addition, it was specially used to deal with demons. Although he was only a low-grade 5th-tier demon, a Great Demon King was not enough for him to play with. If Wang Mingchen had an early-stage Yuanian cultivation and the 10,000 Spirits Pagoda, he would have no problem dealing with 4 or 5 demon monarchs at the same time. Unfortunately, he was only at the peak of the Gold Core realm and could not exert the power of the All-Spirits Pagoda. The greater demon monarch wanted to escape, but he didn't have the ability to make him stay. Thunderflame Sage nodded, since it's more dangerous here, I'll stay. My cultivation level is already close to the late Yuaniing stage. With the power of the exquisite pagoda, I can definitely defeat a Grand Archfiend. I've been staying at Jade Spring Peak all these years, so I can be considered to be familiar with the place. Once he encountered a greater demon monarch, it would be easier to deal with them. Dao Yuan's Grey Rock is also nearby. Together with the sword puppets in Yunnan City, it won't be a problem to deal with the demons. If 2 or 3 greater demon monarchs come, we can also deal with them. If they target Yunnan City, Dao Yuan can just attack directly. If they target Waterfront City, there won't be too many demon monarchs coming, so I don't need to be afraid of them. At this moment, Xueqi walked in from outside. The battle has already started in Waterfront State. I have Lei Peng's flying boat left behind by the retired emperor. Let's hurry over. With that, he released Lei Peng's flying boat. Daoist Shen-Tian, Daoist Yunhe, Daoist Swordless, and Daoist Windwing all boarded the flying boat. Xueqi personally controlled it. After Lei Peng's flying boat rose into the sky, it sped towards the southeast like lightning. Although the flying boat was completely sealed, these people were all Yuanian cultivators and could use their consciousness to observe the surrounding scenery. Even a powerful descendant like Daoist Master Shen-Tian was extremely shocked by the speed of Lei Peng's flying boat. Martial nephew Dao Yuan is really capable. Although this flying boat looks strange, its speed is really frightening. I'm afraid it can fly around 40,000 miles in 2 hours. In Beiyuan Xiaoxian continent, it can reach anywhere in 3 days. Wang Dao Yuan, who was in the Zijin River branch, was also preparing for the final battle. He called Zhou Wan out of the space in the Spirit Pearl and gave her the Shen Xian Cauldron. Lord Shadow Master, the demon race might attack Serene South City or Waterfront City. This place is less than 10,000 miles away from Yunnan City, but it's a bit far from Waterfront City. If we continue to stay here, we won't be able to take care of Waterfront City. Wait here. If something happens in Yunnan City, just wait here. As long as you fly to the westernmost end of the valley and directly cross the heaven/mountain range from the 9 heavens astral wind layer, Yunnan City will be close by. I'll leave the Shen Xian Cauldron to you. Even if the demons attack Yunnan City, you can block a few Grand Demon Kings. I'll rush to the edge of the Mirage Fog Sea now. If the Grand Demon Kings attack Waterfront City, I'll take care of them all. Zhou Wan nodded. Leave Yunnan City to me. You can go to Waterfront City without worry. Wang Dao Yuan didn't say anything else and drove Lei Peng's flying boat to Waterfront City. At this moment, there were more and more demon beasts in Waterfront City. Once these demon beasts came out, they directly attacked the defensive formation of Waterfront City. It seemed like they were forcing the Black Ice Tortoise to attack. Wang Dao Yuan controlled the Black Ice Tortoise and sent a message to his 5th granduncle, asking him to release the sword puppet mystic armor. Soon, a silver light flew out of the city and went straight for the Black Flood Dragon after passing through the defensive formation. The Black Flood Dragon didn't expect that there would be sword puppets in Waterfront City. In such a short time, it was hard for him to cast a strong enough defensive technique. He could only use his movement technique to dodge this fatal strike. Xian Jia was snatched from the Zhenhai sect. The Zhenhai sect was a branch of the Imperial Regency. The Imperial Regency's puppet technique was far from the Shenlian schools, so Xianjia was much weaker than Xianji. Along with the fact that Xianjia was controlled by Wang Jian, the strength it could use was even weaker. If Xianji's sneak attacked the Black Flood Dragon, he would definitely be killed in one strike. Unfortunately, Xianjia wasn't strong enough and dodged the sword. Only the remnant force of the sword landed on the Black Flood Dragon's tail, leaving a small wound. If the sneak attack couldn't kill him, it would be hard to kill him. Wang Jian knew his limits. He knew that his strength and control of laws weren't enough. If he continued to control the armor to attack, he wouldn't be able to do much and would only waste his spiritual energy. He ordered Xianjia to stay around Waterfront City to threaten the Black Flood Dragon. Wang Daoyuan had already told him that the reinforcements would only take a little more than 2 hours to arrive. He didn't want to kill the enemy and only wanted to delay time. Waterfront City could wait, but the monster race didn't dare to. 2 average-looking flood dragons led a group of rank 4 demonic beasts to attack the defensive formation. These 2 flood dragons were also pitch black, but they had a horn on their head. They were most probably the result of the Black Flood Dragon going around. Their cultivation was much lower too. They were both grade 5 lower grades. The city guards on the city walls were prepared and controlled the giant crossbows to attack the beasts. The light barrier of the defensive formation blocked the outside but not the inside. The arrows could be shot out, but the attacks from the outside would be blocked by the light barrier. Under the interference of the arrows, the grade 4 beasts didn't dare to go all out. The Black Flood Dragon was fully focused on Xianjia and didn't dare to act rashly. The 2 grade 5 flood dragons didn't care about the arrows and went all out to attack Waterfront City. 2 water dragons flew out from the defensive light barrier and tangled with the 2 flood dragons. Wang Jian was only at Golden Core late stage. Relying on the defensive formation to fight against 2 grade 5 flood dragons, he was under a lot of pressure. However, most of the pressure was taken by the formation core. It wasn't a problem for him to last for 2 hours. The opponents were restrained and the battle entered a stalemate. The monster race didn't increase their strength. 2 hours passed quickly and Lei Peng's flying boat entered the 10,000 River Valley. As long as they passed through the 10,000 River Valley, they would reach Waterfront City. Although the 10,000 River Valley was narrow, late-stage Yuanian cultivators didn't have to worry about anything. 15 minutes later, the 10,000 River Valley was right in front of them. At this moment, a huge fireball fell from the sky and headed straight for the flying boat. A black jade cauldron flew out of the boat and swallowed the fireball. Xueqi didn't want to bother with this opponent and wanted to use the flying boat's speed to shake it off. However, 5 Monster Kings suddenly appeared in front and blocked the flying boat's path. The 5 Monster Kings were Fire Phoenix, Ice Flood Dragon, and Bald Tail White Feather Chicken. Wang Daoyuan had interacted with them before, but not the Snow Bear and Black Flood Dragon. Wang Daoyuan was currently hiding at the southern edge of the Mirage Fog Sea. He was still 20 to 30,000 miles away from Waterfront City. Almost all the Monster Kings of the monster race had come out, but there should be some hidden level 5 monsters that hadn't shown themselves yet. These 5 Monster Kings didn't have much of an advantage against Xueqi and the other Yuanian cultivators. He wasn't in a hurry to help them now. Instead, he could delay these Monster Kings for a while and force them to summon more monsters. He might be able to force out the hidden Monster Kings or at least some monsters that had just broken through to level 5. The trap was already set. Since he had this opportunity, he would try to kill as many monsters as possible. Wang Daoyuan didn't take Lei Peng's flying boat. Instead, he restrained his aura and flew slowly to Waterfront City. At the same time, he divided his attention and controlled Xueqi to deal with the monsters. With 5 Monster Kings blocking the way, Daoist Xintian and the others left the flying boat. Xueqi put away the flying boat and said with a smile, "The monsters really think highly of themselves. With just the 5 of you, it seems like you can't take us down. Bald Tail White Feather Chicken, the feathers on your tail haven't grown out yet?" Silver Feather was furious. He flapped his wings and was about to attack. Fire Phoenix stopped him immediately. "Dao, you are very confident. You have 4 Dharma artifacts with weapon spirits. Naturally, we don't have the confidence to win quickly. However, your cultivation is too low. Forcefully activating high-grade Dharma artifacts will consume a lot of your spiritual energy. We have plenty of time to waste with you. When your spiritual energy is exhausted, you will all die here. Let's see how the humans can stop us then." Before he finished speaking, The long sword in Dawa's swordless hand shone brightly. An old man with a white beard appeared out of thin air. I haven't woken up for tens of thousands of years. Are the mixed-haired birds now so arrogant? Even those pure-blooded phoenixes didn't dare to be arrogant in front of humans. Can't we stop you? Let's see which monster can stop me. The Demon Slayer Sword Ancestor. Ice Flood Dragon chuckled. In terms of age, you are indeed old seniors. When you were at your peak, us juniors didn't even have the qualifications to fight with you. But times have changed. You are only low-grade level 5 Dharma artifacts now. Even if your power is extraordinary, you can at most contend with us. It won't be easy to defeat us. We don't have the confidence to win quickly, so why be in a hurry to make a move? There's still a good show in Waterfront City. It won't be too late to make a move after watching the show. Chapter 1029. Wang Daoyuan immediately sensed the Xian ice turtle, which was hiding near the mouth of the river. Using his spiritual sense, he could see Waterfront City 1,000 miles away. At this moment, the sword puppet Xian Jia was still facing off against the grade 5 Black Flood Dragon. The Black Flood Dragon was slightly weaker and didn't want to suffer anymore. The Xian Jia wanted to preserve its strength and didn't dare to attack too much. It only slashed out a few times to scare the 2 grade 5 Flood Dragons and share some of the pressure for Wang Jian. Wang Daoyuan muttered to himself, in the extreme cold ice plains monster race, the Dragon race and the Black Tortoise race have the highest status. The Dragon race has the Ice Flood Dragon, an extremely strong monster king. For the Black Tortoise race to be able to fight against the Dragon race, they must have an expert. In the Xian Ice Turtle's memories, it also has a peak grade 5 father, so the Black Tortoise race should also have a monster king. Last time when it fought the Black Flood Dragon, it was taught a lesson by the Xian Ice Turtle. This time, it still dares to swagger over, so it must have a backup plan. The backup plan to deal with the Xian Ice Turtle should be the Black Tortoise race's monster king. He should be able to control the grade 5 Xian Ice Turtle to deal with the peak grade 5 Black Tortoise bloodline. From Xueqi's side, the human race doesn't have an advantage. If this continues, the monster race won't need to send out more people to win. I have to add some pressure to the monster race. Thinking about this, Wang Daoyuan ordered the gray rock to fly over from the Nine Skies astral wind layer. The gray rock was currently near the Wanchuan market and would be able to reach Waterfront City in 2 hours. Although his cultivation base was only at the middle 5th stage, he was not far away from the upper 5th stage. He wasn't strong enough to deal with the Monster King, but under Wang Daoyuan's control, dealing with the grade 5 Black Flood Dragon at Waterfront City wasn't a problem. The rock race had a saying that they countered the dragon race. Of course, normal rock were just a variant of the phoenix race. They were only known for their speed and their combat strength wasn't the top among god beasts, only above average. They wouldn't be able to gain an advantage when fighting with most true dragons. But against dragons and other dragons, they were their natural nemesis. Moreover, the gray rock came from the West Ocean. Even though it wasn't too powerful, it possessed the bloodline of an ancient beast. Just this point alone showed that he had the potential to compete with mythological beasts. Demigod beasts of the same level were no match for him. Along with the sword puppet mysterious armor, dealing with the 3 black flood dragons around Waterfront City was not a problem. After giving the order to Hui Peng, Wang Daoyuan no longer cared about him. On Xueqi's side, he was facing off against the 5 great archfiend kings. It would take a few hours before a victor was decided, so Wang Daoyuan didn't have to worry about it for now. He focused his attention on the Black Ice Tortoise in order to deal with the Greater Demon Monarch with the Black Tortoise bloodline. The Mystic Ice Tortoise couldn't directly cast large-scale Dharma spells like last time. The Black Ice Tortoise sneaked into the vicinity of Waterfront City and sent a message to Wang Jian, asking him to control the sword puppet Profound Armor and attack the upper-grade Class 5 Black Flood Dragon. He would wait for an opportunity to launch a sneak attack and see if he could take down the Black Flood Dragon. Wang Jian received the message and the sword puppet Profound Armor once again turned into a silver light and attacked the Black Flood Dragon. The Black Flood Dragon didn't dare to let down his guard, so this attack didn't work. The difference in strength between the two sides wasn't great, and Wang Jian's control over his strength was still too weak, so he wasn't much of a threat to the Black Flood Dragon. After exchanging blows for a dozen breaths, it was only a draw. Suddenly, a foot-long icicle flew out of the water. Although the Black Flood Dragon wasn't strong, he still had experience. He knew that this attack could heavily injure him, so he hurriedly dodged. The profound armor condensed sword shadows and chased after the black flood dragon. This was also a type of Dharma spell called Spirit Lock Sword. It used sword chi as a chain to lock the enemy. Once the sword chi wrapped around the enemy, the circulation of spirit power would be suppressed. The black flood dragon was already having a hard time dodging the mystic ice tortoise's methods, so how could he have time to dodge the spirit lock sword? The sword chi quickly wrapped around his body. He only felt that the circulation of his spirit power was greatly hindered, and the flow of his spirit power became slower and slower. He wanted to break free from the sword chi, but he was powerless. The ice tortoise's icicle was less than 300 meters away from him. At such a close distance, it was difficult for him to use his spirit power. He was already in a situation where he would definitely die. At this moment, another icicle fell from the sky and shattered the ice tortoise's icicle. The icicle that appeared later also shattered at the same time. Both sides should be about the same strength. An exclamation came from the astral wind layer. "My son, Xueqi, your strength has already caught up to me. What evil spell did Wang Daoyuan cast on you to make you betray the black tortoise race and work for the human race?" Before he finished speaking, an icy blue tortoise that was more than 30 meters long descended from the sky. "Xueqi, why don't you come out and meet me?" Xueqi flew out of the river and transformed into a muscular man in an icy blue robe. The demons have no hope. If you don't want the black tortoise bloodline to be severed, surrender as soon as possible. Hearing this, Great Demon King Mystic Ice was stunned. "I'm your father. The black tortoise bloodline is rare. When you were young, I treated you like a treasure. Have you forgotten?" At this moment, Xueqi's soul was trembling, as if he wanted to break free from Wang Daoyuan's control. This was normal. The higher one's cultivation, the stronger one's sensing ability. When one's own flesh and blood were together, it would naturally cause resonance. However, Wang Daoyuan was already hiding nearby. At such a close distance, an upper-grade 5th-stage clone could not break free from the control of a soul formation cultivator. Xueqi shouted, "There's no point in talking. Attack!" With that, he condensed 3 icicles and attacked Great Demon King Mystic Ice. Mystic Ice revealed a look of surprise. Xueqi's technique was too exquisite. His cultivation was clearly lower than his, but the speed at which he condensed the icicles was faster than his. The consumption of spiritual power was smaller, and the power of the icicles was almost the same as his. He opened his mouth and spat out a gust of cold air, condensing an ice wall in front of him and blocking the 3 icicles. The 2 ice tortoises were about the same strength, so they started a war of attrition. The upper-grade 5th-stage black flood dragon was trapped by the spirit lock sword. The 2 low-grade 5th-stage black flood dragons hurriedly went to help. All the power of the mystic armor was used to maintain the spirit lock sword, so it could no longer stop the 2 black flood dragons. Moreover, the mystic armor only contained 3 5th-stage spirit gathering pearls. This kind of high-intensity battle could only last for an hour at most. Wang Xian did not dare to let him continue. He controlled the mystic armor to give up on the spirit lock sword and continue to return to the top of Waterfront City. Using the cover of the formation, he delayed the 3 demonic beasts. The 2 sides continued to be in a stalemate. 2 hours later, the gray rock clone arrived at the astral wind layer above Waterfront City. At this moment, the upper-grade 5th-stage black flood dragon was too far away. The mystic armor could not help. The gray rock's cultivation was slightly lower, so it was difficult for him to quickly kill the upper-grade 5th-stage black flood dragon. Great Demon King Mystic Ice was even more so. Her black tortoise bloodline defense was extremely strong. Even if he shrank into his turtle shell and fought with the gray rock could not kill him. The gray rock also targeted one of the upper-grade 5th-stage black flood dragons. This fellow's dragon blood concentration was lower and his cultivation was lower. Naturally, he was not strong. In addition, he was naturally restrained. It should not be a problem to deal with him. The gray rock was wrapped in astral wind and swooped down at an extremely fast speed. The 2 small black flood dragons were fighting with the water dragons created by the formation. By the time they reacted, the gray rock's sharp claws had already grabbed the head of one of the small black flood dragons. The sharp claws pierced through the small black flood dragon's skull. The small black flood dragon only struggled a few times before it completely lost its life. A 5th-stage dragon species needed to cultivate for thousands of years. It was gone just like that. After killing one dragon species, Wang Daoyuan continued to control the gray rock to attack the other dragon species. Seeing the two of its kind being killed, the upper-grade 5th stage black flood dragon's eyes were about to pop out. It raised its head and let out a furious roar. He wanted to help, but the mystic armor used the spirit-locking sword again. He could not care less about saving his own kind and could only hurriedly dodge the attack. The low-grade 5th stage mixed blood dragon species had no resistance in front of the middle-grade 5th stage gray rock. The other small black flood dragon was also quickly killed. After killing the two troublesome fellows, the gray rock started to attack the upper-grade 5th stage black flood dragon. At this moment, Wang Daoyuan was multitasking and controlling Xueqi at the same time. Great Demon Kings. How is the big show in Waterfront City? Why don't we go and take a look? The 5 Great Demon Kings were a little anxious. With Great Demon King Xianbing and Great Demon King Xianlin, they should have dealt with Waterfront City long ago. Especially Great Demon King Xianjiao. Xianlin was his son and the situation there was unclear, so he was naturally worried. Since the few of you are unwilling to give up, then let's go and take a look. The 10 peak Yuanying experts flew towards the east together. 2 hours later, they arrived near Waterfront City. The 2 black tortoise bloodline beasts were still fighting at a leisurely pace, and they were evenly matched. The mystic armor had used up a lot of spirit energy and had already entered the city to recover. The black flood dragon, Xianlin, didn't dare to fight the gray rock and could only use the Wan Chuanha to dodge the attacks. There were 2 black flood dragon corpses at the side and the corpses of the 4th stage beasts were all over the ground. Xianjiao wanted to save his son, but Xueqi stopped him. Didn't we agree to watch the show? Dao Yu, why are you in such a hurry? Xianjiao glanced at him and cursed in his heart. You're not in a hurry. The one being beaten is my son. At this time, Xianlin already had several 1-foot-long wounds on his body. Blood was constantly oozing out. The gray rock kept circling above the river. Xianlin hid at the bottom of the river and couldn't completely avoid his detection. Once he was discovered, he would send a few wind blades over. Xianjiao thought about it and knew that he wasn't Xueqi's match. The number of great demon kings on both sides was about the same. Even if there were stronger and weaker ones, the victor couldn't be determined in a short time. He cursed angrily, Great Demon King Xianbing, are you trash? Your cultivation level is 1 level higher, but you can only fight to a draw against your own son. Great Demon King Xianbing was furious and naturally didn't want to give in. I didn't want to participate in this, but you guys insisted on coming. I don't know what evil spell Wang Daoyuan used to make my son Xian Yan not recognize me. He's especially strong. The Demon Slayer Sword's artifact spirit appeared again. I thought the demons were powerful. In the end, this is all they have. When the gray rock kills the black flood dragon, we will have the advantage. Xueqi chimed in. You Yao clan only have such little resources, yet you dare to have designs on my human clan. We humans still have Thunderfire Perfected Lord who hasn't made a move. Dao, you should know about the sword puppets in Serene South City. When they come, the great demon kings won't be able to leave. Fire Phoenix smiled and said, Extreme Arctic Ice originally had 3 great demon kings. Our heavenly/mountain range can't only have 2. Golden Winged Tiger. Humans look down on us demons. Come out and show us what you're capable of. A tiger's roar came from the astral wind layer, and a white figure descended from the sky. The white figure went straight for the gray rock. Fortunately, the gray rock was fast enough. He turned into a gust of wind and dodged the attack. The white figure landed. It was a snow-white tiger. There was a pair of golden wings on the tiger's back, and its eyes were blood red. He glanced at Linhai City. The cultivators controlling the giant crossbows on the city wall were trembling. Xueqi still looked indifferent. They really do have a backup plan, but it's not a big deal. I can still hold on for a period of time while fighting 1 against 2. Thunderfire Perfected Lord should be arriving soon. With his cultivation level close to the late-stage Yuanying and the purple gold exquisite pagoda, it shouldn't be a problem for him to take down a great demon king. Black Flood Dragon snorted coldly. The Ice Plains demons and the heavenly/mountain range demons have experts. How can the East Sea Dragons not have experts? Ancestor, I'm incompetent and not a match for the humans. I can only ask you to come out. Chapter 10:30. Hearing this, all the humans and demons present were shocked. The black dragon was at the peak of the 5th level. To be able to make him respectfully call him ancestor, he should be far above him in terms of strength and age. The black dragon and the other great demon kings had been in a deep sleep since the 5th level spiritual energy disappeared more than 10,000 years ago. They didn't wake up until their spiritual energy recovered. A 5th level beast could last for more than 10,000 years, which was basically the limit. Those who were much older than the black dragon could only be 6th level beasts. Yuanying and semi-god realm cultivators were worlds apart. It was the same for the demons. While everyone was guessing, huge waves rose on the sea. When the huge waves approached the Linhai state, they were raised by the shallow seabed. When the huge waves reached the shore, they were already more than 10 miles high. The waves reached the shore and swept for nearly 100 miles. Ever since Wang Daoyuan began to set a trap for the demons, the ordinary people in the Linhai state began to move inward. They had moved all the property that could be moved away, so the loss was not great. However, there were still many industries along the coast that could not be moved. When the huge waves hit, those industries were completely destroyed. After the huge waves reached the shore, a black dragon head appeared on the top of the waves, which was no different from a real dragon. The waves receded, and the dragon species revealed itself. The head and neck of this dragon species were exactly the same as those of a real dragon. Its 4 claws had 5 fingers, and its tail also had a thick mane. Unfortunately, it was carrying a turtle shell, which was exactly the same as the nether water black turtle. From the looks of it, it should have the bloodline of a real dragon and a black tortoise at the same time. A demon with 2 divine beast bloodlines might seriously affect its cultivation talent because of the conflict between the 2 bloodlines. Only in very rare cases would there be 2 bloodlines that complemented each other. Such a divine beast bloodline was far more talented than a half-divine beast, and it was not much worse than a real pure-blooded divine beast. Judging from the appearance of this dragon turtle, it should have dragon blood and black tortoise blood that complemented each other. As for whether it had the bloodline of a demon other than a divine beast, it was hard to say. The dragon turtle floated quietly in the air. All the humans and demons present felt a great pressure. The trace of spiritual energy emitted from its body made everyone tremble with fear. After a dozen breaths of time, the dragon turtle spoke, "Xian Zhao, you're too useless. The strongest among these humans is only at the late Yuanying stage. You can't even take them down." Xian Zhao didn't dare to disobey. He cupped his hands and said, "These people have extraordinary strength. Except for Jia Qi, the others all have magic tools that have been passed down for tens of thousands of years. Even if we use all our strength, it will still be very difficult for us to win. I'm incompetent, so I can only ask the old ancestor for help. Back then, I fought with Sir God Ling He of Divine Weapon Pavilion and suffered some injuries. Then, I have been recuperating. It didn't take long for the concentration of spiritual energy in Beiyuan to drop below level 6. I'll use the secret hibernation technique I inherited from the Black Tortoise clan to reduce the loss of my lifespan. When you made peace with the human race, I had just woken up, and the other awakened monsters had yet to recover their strength. I thought that since most of us Monster Clan experts were left behind 10,000 years ago, the speed of our recovery would be much faster than that of the human clan. I didn't expect that the human clan would produce an anomaly like Wang Daoyuan. His cultivation speed is faster than the Monster Clan's recovery speed. Even I didn't have the confidence to defeat him. After hiding at the bottom of the sea for decades, my spiritual energy has only barely recovered to level 6. I really don't have the confidence to defeat Wang Daoyuan, who is at the peak of Yuanying. However, it's nothing to deal with juniors like you." The human clan was stunned. Sir God Ling He was the former sect master of Divine Weapon Pavilion. He had already passed away 20,000 years ago. This old fellow had already become a level 6 monster 20,000 years ago. Although he couldn't unleash his full strength due to the lack of spiritual energy now, he was still able to control his strength. Yuanying cultivators couldn't compare to a level 6 monster's ability to control his strength. Moreover, he was already a level 6 monster. Yuanying cultivators would find it difficult to fight against a level 6 monster, even if they had magic artifacts that had been passed down from generation to generation. Since you've been hiding for 20,000 years, why didn't you continue hiding? Why did you have to come out and die? The dragon turtle's calm demeanor disappeared because it did not discover where the person who spoke was. On the other hand, the human clan cultivators were overjoyed. They were all very familiar with Wang Daoyuan, so they could naturally recognize his voice. The dragon turtle roared. "Who are you? Why are you hiding here?" Wang Daoyuan's figure appeared above Linhai City. He didn't hide his aura at all and completely overshadowed the dragon turtles. He activated his domain divine ability and enveloped the group of monsters. The monster clan was no stranger to Wang Daoyuan. When they saw him appear, they were a little afraid. "As long as I get rid of all of you, Beiyuan's monster clan won't be able to do anything. Do you want to give up resisting and let me deal with you, or do you want me to personally send you away?" The dragon turtle sneered. "Domain divine ability with the power of spatial laws. If it's just these juniors, I'm afraid they can only wait to be killed. However, Dao Yu, don't forget that I'm still here. Although I'm not as strong as you, I can still delay you for a while. You're dreaming if you want to kill all of us." With that, a whirlpool appeared in the Thousand Rivers River. In just 2 breaths' time, the whirlpool expanded to a diameter of 50 kilometers. Under the absorption of the whirlpool, the river stopped flowing into the sea. Instead, the seawater flowed into the mouth of the river. Then, the dragon turtle drew a water column from the whirlpool and attacked toward the east. He wanted to rely on the power of the Thousand Rivers River to break through the restrictions of spatial laws. Wang Daoyuan didn't care. He used the power of his domain to suppress the whirlpool and the water column. Under his suppression, the whirlpool shrank visibly, and the water column's impact also weakened rapidly. The dragon turtle's spiritual power surged violently. The whirlpool below expanded again, and the water column's impact also increased. He roared, "Are you still waiting to watch the show? I've just recovered my 6th level cultivation and don't have enough spiritual power. I can't maintain it for long. Hurry up and rush out. Every single one of you can escape. If the monster clan doesn't have a monster king, they won't even be able to cause trouble for the human race in the future." It wasn't that easy for the monster clan to escape. Taoist Master Cloud Crane and the other Yuanian cultivators all had inherited spiritual weapons. They might not be able to take down a monster king, but holding him back for a few hours was no problem. Fire Phoenix and Blood-Eye Golden Winged Tiger wanted to use their wings to fly out, but Taoist Master Cloud Crane's Demon Refining Cauldron came crashing down from the sky. Wang Daoyuan also used the power of space to weaken their spiritual power. Taoist Master Swordless waved the Demon Slayer sword in his hand, and a terrifying sword aura slashed out. Fire Phoenix and Blood-Eye Golden Winged Tiger hurriedly dodged, but they were still injured by the sword aura. The dragon turtle was still stubbornly holding on, but Wang Daoyuan didn't want to waste any more time with him. A 20,000-year-old dragon turtle. Its meat probably won't be cooked until it's soft. I won't leave you with an intact corpse. As long as the bones and dragon pearl are still around, I can reluctantly accept it. 30 bolts of heavenly water thunder instantly appeared beside the dragon turtle. The dragon turtle focused all his energy on competing with Wang Daoyuan. There was no chance for him to dodge the sudden appearance of heavenly water thunder. All 30 bolts of heavenly water thunder entered the dragon turtle's body. After a series of muffled sounds, the dragon turtle stopped moving. With a wave of his hand, Wang Daoyuan stored the corpse into the spirit pearl space and handed it to his clone, Han Ying, to examine its memories. As the descendant of a ghost immortal, Han Ying was also good at this kind of work. After taking care of the dragon turtle, the remaining monster kings were nothing to be afraid of. "Are you going to give up resisting and let me deal with you, or do you want to be slowly played to death?" The black dragon scolded angrily. "You killed my ancestor. This hatred is irreconcilable. We have the bloodline of divine beasts. How can we be slaves to a human?" These monster kings wanted to surrender, but Wang Daoyuan didn't dare to accept them. After all, they weren't spirit beasts that he raised. He couldn't completely trust them, or he would follow the same path as the Valley of Beasts. "Uncle Masters, do you want to use these monster kings as practice, or do you want me to deal with them directly?" Before the others could speak, the Demon Slayer Sword Ancestor shouted, "Junior, you're quite powerful, but I wasn't bad either. I haven't fought in tens of thousands of years. Let me enjoy myself first." Perfected Shen Tian continued, "Let us practice. After this battle, there will be no more monster kings in Beiyuan. I'm afraid we won't have a chance to fight monster kings in the future." Wang Daoyuan nodded. "Then go ahead and practice. With me around, these monster kings can forget about escaping." These monster kings also knew that this was the setting sun of Beiyuan's demons. At this moment, they no longer had any thoughts of surviving. All of them used their full strength to fight the Yuanian cultivators. The battle lasted for more than 2 hours. Both the humans and demons were exhausted. Ice Flood Dragon looked up and laughed. Ha ha ha, awesome. These artifact spirits have also fought with our ancestors. To be able to fight them before they die, they won't have lived in vain. Wang Daoyuan, we underestimated you, resulting in today's disaster. There's no way for us to survive today. Before we die, we have one last request. Wang Daoyuan smiled and said, "Don't worry. I won't kill all the demons. However, in the future, the demons will no longer have the ability to threaten humans. They will only become humans' vassals and cultivation resources." Ice Flood Dragon shook his head. "I know that. The demons are still very valuable to humans. You won't destroy the demons, nor will you sever our bloodline. I want to beg you to kill me personally. You can be considered a peerless hero to be able to lead the humans to victory and completely defeat Beiyuan's demons. It's an honor to die at your hands." The other monster kings also spoke up, requesting Wang Daoyuan to kill them personally. Wang Daoyuan sighed. "Everyone has been famous for more than 10,000 years. You should have a dignified death. I won't use any tricks on you. I'll send you on your way." With that said, he condensed 10 sword shadows and beheaded all the monster kings. As for Xianlin, he had long been killed by Grey Rock. Wang Daoyuan cupped his hands and said, "Thank you for coming to help. Without you, I'm afraid I wouldn't have been able to fish out this stage 6 dragon turtle. I don't have much use for the monster king's corpses. Each of you can take one." This time they were quite tempted. Beiyuan Xiuxian still didn't have a mid-grade stage 5 spirit vein. Naturally, there wouldn't be any mid-grade stage 5 spirit items. And these monster king's corpses were all peak stage 5 refining materials. Even the demon beast meat was an extremely precious ingredient. After everyone declined for a while, they began to choose the demon beast corpses. Daoist Windwing naturally chose the Fire Phoenix's corpse. Using the Fire Phoenix's blood essence to nourish the Phoenix flag could also increase its power. Daoist Swordless chose the blood-eyed golden-winged tiger. This thing was mainly used for killing. The refining materials on its body were compatible with sword cultivators. Daoist Cloud Crane chose the Black Ice's corpse. After all, it had the Black Tortoise bloodline. Its turtle shell was very suitable for refining. Daoist Shintian took the Snow Bear's corpse and said with a smile, "I wonder if the stage 5 Monster King's bear paw taste good." They all knew their limits and didn't choose the Ice Flood Dragons and Black Flood Dragons corpses. Dragon species had pseudo-dragon pearls, and their value was much higher than other half-divine beasts. Wang Daoyuan put away the other stage 5 demon beast corpses and said with a smile, "Seniors, you've used up a lot of your spiritual power. Follow me to Linhai City to rest." Previously, everyone had fought the monster kings with lower cultivation. They could only rely on using up a lot of spiritual power to activate their legendary magic artifacts. Now that their spiritual power was almost exhausted, they urgently needed to meditate to recover. Naturally, they had no objections to Wang Daoyuan's suggestion. Wang Jian also closed the city barrier array and personally went to the city gate to welcome everyone.